Chapter 187. A Familiar Face in Hell. When Chun Zhao walked back into the house, Fei Lai asked, "Who's that?" "Pierce South, the owner of that chemical factory. Also, he's a wizard." "Did the two of you argue? I saw you punch him." Instead of hiding anything from Fei Lai, Chun Zhao told her about Pierce's intention to cooperate with him. Just then, Raymond climbed up Chun Zhao's arm and hissed. Fei Lai could not understand Raymond, but Chun Zhao could. "Human, I have a friend who's ill. Come to my hometown and help me to treat him." "Will I get anything?" If it was Raymond who needed treatment, Chun Zhao would go to hell and help him for free. After all, Raymond had helped Chun Zhao a lot, although Raymond had still been unwilling to call him master. However, since it was someone else, the first thing that Chun Zhao thought of was his own benefit. "My friend is a true visioner. He has no territory. Even the sacrifices needed to summon you to hell will be from me," Raymond said. "Is he that important to you?" Chun Zhao asked. "Yes. He once gave me a pristine eyeball, which became my current left eye." "Chin, are you speaking with Raymond?" Fei Lai asked curiously. "Yep," Chun Zhao nodded. "I'm going to my room now." While Fei Lai envied Chun Zhao's ability, she could not understand Raymond at all. Feeling rather bored, she decided to go back to her room. Chun Zhao watched as Fei Lai left the living room. Then he asked Raymond, "What's a pristine eyeball?" "A pristine eyeball can be placed at any part of one's body, and it'll function like an actual eyeball. However, the pristine eyeball will also change according to one's bloodline." "What changes are there?" "The left eye of my true body can cast the curse age. If I get one, how will I change?" "Human bloodline cannot change the pristine eyeball, only demonic bloodlines can. If you can heal my friend, I can promise you for him that you'll get 3 pristine eyeballs. You can place it on your right hand. It should work given your right hand's gluttony bloodline." "Alright, summon me to hell then." "Wait for a while. My true body in hell hasn't finished the preparation. Also, you'll have to be quick. I don't have that many sacrifices available, so you'll only be able to stay for 6 hours. Then let me prepare too. Does your friend have some kind of disease?" "I dunno. He's in a bad shape now." Chun Zhao was not very confident in treating demons too. Although the demonic medical book had various case studies, there were too many different types of demons. Even the book could not cover everything. Chun Zhao thought about it and asked, "Describe his symptoms." "A few of his eyes are blind. Also vomiting and weakness." "How many eyes does he have?" "I don't know." "What? You don't know?" 100 plus, I suppose. Just then, Fei Lai came out from her room and saw Chun Zhao packing his toolbox. "Chun, are you going out?" "Yup. You have a patient." "Kind of." "What do you mean by kind of?" Suddenly, Chun Zhao's body started to fade. "What's happening to you? Where are you going?" "I'm leaving for a day. Help me to take care of." Fei Lai recalled that last time when Chris and Sienna came over, they told her that Chun Zhao had just disappeared right before them. Chun Zhao finally saw Raymond's true form, which was much bigger than Beelzebub's. He was a 30-meter-long gargantuan snake with 2 horns on his head. With a row of bony spikes on his back, he looked truly fearsome. "Raymond. Human, here you are." Raymond lowered his body. "Come up to my head." Raymond's head was not even as comfortable as Abito's. Because he slithered extremely quickly, his head kept moving up and down. It was really annoying. Chun Zhao had a hard time maintaining his stability while standing on Raymond's head. Not to mention about sitting down. Chun Zhao had to hold on tightly to one of Raymond's bony spikes. The sulfur-filled air rushed against his face and he could hardly open his mouth. Soon Raymond's trembling weakened. They had entered a desert. Chun Zhao noticed many souls buried beneath the sands. Occasionally, an incomplete soul would jump onto the surface, only to be engulfed again by the yellowness in the next instant. 20 minutes into the desert, Chun Zhao finally saw an enormous pit in the distance from Raymond's head. He estimated that the huge pit had a diameter of at least 10 kilometers. However, as they neared the pit, Chun Zhao realized that he was gravely mistaken. The pit was much bigger than he had imagined. The sand around the pit continuously flew down. Similarly, souls were dragged along the moving sand, eventually falling into the bottomless abyss. Raymond crawled to the edge of the pit. Chen Zhao's heart almost skipped a beat. The pit was not just wide but also strikingly deep. "It's the endless abyss," Raymond said. "You didn't bring me here to enjoy the scenery, did you?" "Of course not." Raymond approached the very edge of the endless abyss and then climbed down the rough side of the abyss. While it seemed very risky at first, Raymond had in fact climbed this path countless times already, hence it felt rather stable. After over 100 meters of descent, they came to a small platform which led to a cave in the wall. The cave was very big, indeed much bigger than Beelzebub's house, although it was simple. It was tens of meters deep, which was sufficient for Raymond to move around freely. "Raymond, are you still single now?" "Yup," Raymond answered emotionlessly, looking at Chen Zhao. Chen Zhao had originally thought that as a snake of desire, Raymond should already have a large family. "Where's my patient?" "Wait. I'll bring him here now." As he spoke, Raymond moved his huge body away, leaving Chen Zhao alone here. Chen Zhao walked to the platform outside and looked down into the bottomless abyss. Suddenly, a soul fell from the sky and landed on the platform. Chen Zhao looked at the soul. "Wait, isn't this the old witch Winry Gargamel?" "Old witch? Huh. It's you. Damn, did you fall to hell too?" Despite being dead, Winry's soul was still rather complete, probably because of the fact that she was a witch. At least she still recognized Chen Zhao. From her look, it was evident that her immense hatred towards Chen Zhao had not decreased. Winry's soul suddenly started to expand. "Meeting you here is the luckiest thing in my life." Why does this line sound so awkward? Chen Zhao's cheek twitched. He felt as if he had just been sincerely proposed. "I'll tear you apart, and then devour your soul bit by bit." Ha ha. Given how rare it is to see a familiar face in hell, can't we just sit down, have a cup of tea, and forget about our conflict in the human world? Chen Zhao said, frustrated. "Do you think that's possible? I am here all because of you. My hatred towards you is endless, just like the sand above this very abyss. Then have you thought about what if you still can't beat me?" Chapter 188. I can't control my right hand anymore. I won't be able to defeat you? This is hell. I don't need to be stuck in that rotting body anymore, and my power won't be restricted by time. I've also eaten my souls here. I am completely different from before now. Confidence is good, but have you thought about what will happen if you lose? I won't lose. How about you turn around and ask for my friend's opinion? Your friend? Winry Gargamel suddenly felt a huge shadow loom over her. She turned around and saw the most horrifying and hopeless scene in both her previous and current life. She'd heard from the spirits that wandered the area that this huge snake before her now was the Lord, a terrible demon lord. Winry had once seen this demon from afar when she'd first fallen into hell. Whenever Raymond ate, he would swallow some spirits in the desert and leave when he was full. Whoever was eaten by him, well, that sucked for them. Whenever Raymond appeared, all the other spirits would hide from him. "Let me introduce to you my friend, Raymond Stees." Chen Zhao smiled at Winry. "Human, how should I punish her? I don't want to kill her yet. I have some questions to ask." Raymond spat out a mouthful of acid onto Winry. She immediately started screaming as smoke rose up from her body. She fell to the ground in pain. "Are you sure this won't kill her?" Chen Zhao asked with some regret while looking at Winry. "This is how I store my food. My numbing poison will seal off her consciousness and she won't rot. It's like how you humans use refrigerators." "Okay." Chen Zhao saw a 10-foot-tall figure beside Raymond. Of course, this figure was quite small compared to Raymond. This demon had brown skin, a bald head, long and sharp ears, and a pair of canines poking out of his mouth. He had the skin of an unknown beast on his back while there were various slits on his bare skin. These slits were all eyelids opening and closing, they were eyes. Chen Zhao counted. This demon had at least 100 eyes. "Hello. Are you the true visioner?" "Hello, living lord. I am the true visioner Laos," the demon said. His voice was weak. "I'll check your body." While checking, Chen Zhao asked a few questions. Have you done anything special or ran into anything recently? Last time, I accidentally ate a mutant flower and was bedridden for a whole month, but that was half a year ago. Chen Zhao thought for a moment. Hell flowers were poisonous and harmful even to demons. What could a mutant flower cause? He wasn't sure. He had to do more research. He discovered that one eyeball on Leo's back was completely bloodshot. Leos, can you still see with this eye? That eye doesn't work anymore. Afterward, Chen Zhao discovered several eyes on Leos that had similar symptoms. He reached out and pressed the area around the eyes and finally found what was wrong. The capillaries on the eyes weren't capillaries at all. They were the roots of a plant. Chen Zhao took a stethoscope out and listened carefully to the inside of Leo's body. There's something living inside you, Chen Zhao said. Really? Can you do anything about it? It was common to have parasites in hell. The host and parasite would often live together because neither could do anything to the other. However, some parasites were more invasive and more harmful to the host. The parasite in Leos right now was obviously the more invasive and aggressive ones. If it couldn't be removed in time, Leos may be sucked dry by it. I need to operate on you and physically remove the parasite. You can do whatever necessary to remove that damn thing from me. One of the disabled eyes suddenly opened and shot a laser at Chen Zhao. His right hand went out of control. The mouth of Glutton on his palm opened and the ray shot into the mouth. Chen Zhao retreated hurriedly in fright. Leos, Raymond said, upset. Why did you attack the human? I didn't do that. I lost control of that eye long ago. That parasite has a mind, Chen Zhao analyzed. I think it sensed my intentions, so it attacked me. Leos, seal the eyes you can't control. Otherwise, the human can't do surgery. Okay. When I get that thing out, I'm going to rip it to shreds. It took a lot of effort to seal the uncontrollable eyes. Raymond helped a lot during the process too. Leos was numbed by Raymond's toxin too. Raymond, give me some of your anesthetic toxin later. Oh, surgery begins. If it was a human, Chen Zhao wouldn't perform surgery in such an environment. However, his patient was a demon this time. He couldn't send a demon to a hospital's surgery room after all. He had to deal with the difficulties under these conditions. Of course, he had to do everything that was possible. For example, he still disinfected his tools to prevent the patient from getting an infection. When the sharp knife slit Leo's stomach, the brown skin opened up like a zipper. Chen Zhao looked at Leo's innards. There was an obvious thing hiding in the center of his organs. It looked like an octopus. If the parasite invaded a human, he'd probably be sucked dry quickly. Only demons could survive this long with their strong vitality. Holding a syringe, Chen Zhao cautiously approached the parasite. The moment that he was about to inject the needle, two tentacles suddenly stuck onto Chen Zhao's arm. He tried to take his hand back, but he couldn't anymore. The mouth of Glutton on his hand opened up again. When it bit onto the parasite, Chen Zhao panicked. Don't eat everything. Open your mouth. Leos got food poisoning from it. Do you want that to happen too? But the mouth of Glutton didn't listen at all. It started swallowing with all its might. Chapter 189. I have eyes on my right arm. Noticing Chen Zhao's anxiety, Raymond quickly comforted, human, relax. Gluttony subordinates can digest anything. They're the only demons that won't be infested. Hearing Raymond's words, Chen Zhao calmed down at once. Can I digest it? Great. Don't eat me. Don't eat me, the parasite screamed in horror. I'm afraid begging now is too late already. The parasite had also been affected by Raymond's venom, so its struggle was very weak. Its tentacles attached onto Chen Zhao's arm like an octopus, but it could not hurt Chen Zhao at all. Parasites needed a host precisely because they could not survive in the outside world by themselves. It was an unbreakable law of nature, whether it was in the human world or in hell. The mouth of Glutton had already swallowed half of the parasite's body. Just then, the tentacles attached to Leo's organs and flesh also became inactive. Chen Zhao pulled his hand and the entire parasite was drawn out of Leo's abdomen. The parasite struggled wildly, dragging a few of Leo's eyeballs out at the same time. The eyeballs were attached to the end of the tentacles. As the mouth of Glutton finally devoured the parasite, it swallowed the eyeballs too. However, the next moment, a few eyes opened on Chen Zhao's arm, one after another. There were 5 eyes on his arm and 1 on the back of his hand, making a total of 6. What the actual fuck? Am I infested? Chen Zhao wanted to cry but had no tears. It seemed like he would have to perform surgery to his own arm later. The mouth of Glutton was really too greedy and ate everything. Anyway, it was not the time to think about all this. Chen Zhao still had to stitch Leo's abdomen. After the operation, Chen Zhao stared at Raymond with much resentment. Didn't you just say that gluttony subordinates can't be infested? Look at the eyes on my arm. I've already been infested by that parasite. Do you feel anything different? Huh, I don't think so. So stop scaring yourself. Gluttony subordinates have very powerful digestive systems. Those fat pigs will many a time devour other demons and obtain their abilities. Clearly, the mouth of Glutton on your arm has eaten the parasite and obtained the eyes. So I'm fine. Yes. Really? Yes. Puff. I almost had a heart attack. Chen Zhao heaved a long sigh of relief. He tried to control the eyes but they did not open, or rather he could not open them. Chen Zhao felt annoyed again. How are they useful if I can't even fucking control them? When the mouth of Glutton disappeared, so did the eyes. Chen Zhao decided to ask Jessica later how to control the mouth of Glutton. Currently, it would appear whenever it wanted to and disappear otherwise, which Chen Zhao really hated. After the paralytic effect of Raymond's venom ended, Leos woke up. Despite having lost a few eyes, Leos was clearly elated. After all, he had over 100 eyes and losing a few was really no big deal. He felt that he had fully recovered. The heaviness that had been bothering him for a long time was finally gone. Living Lord, thank you for your help. Please take my gift. Leos very readily gave Chen Zhao the pristine eyeballs that he had prepared. He took out a bottle filled with some liquid, in which 3 eyeballs were floating. Chen Zhao found this journey to help pretty rewarding. The pristine eyeballs could be used on anyone, whether it was a demon or a human. Human, what do you plan to do to this witch soul? Raymond asked. Do you want her? I need someone to clean this place. It's hard to meet such a complete soul, you know, Raymond said. Then I'll leave her here after questioning her. Oh. Winry Gargamel woke up slowly. She really hoped that it was but a dream. However, her clear awareness told her that Raymond and Leos before her were real. Chen Zhao's mocking smile only deepened her hatred. Oh. Winry Gargamel, I have a few questions for you. Answer them well and I'll forget about what happened in the human world. Otherwise, Chen Zhao turned his head and glanced at Raymond and Leos. Raymond opened his mouth and helped Chen Zhao to intimidate Winry. While Leos was not as big as Raymond, as he opened all his eyes, Winry realized that she was being stared at by a dense group of eyeballs. Winry instantly peed her pants if she could still pee. What questions do you want to ask me? Let me go. I'll tell you everything. Raymond needs a servant. If you answer my questions well, you'll stay here and help him. If not, I think Raymond won't mind having you for dinner. What do you want to know? Where's Treat Pempton? I suppose he's in hell too, right? Treat? He's already been sacrificed to Lord Besta. His soul is gone forever. Is Besta the large octopus that appeared last time? Yes. To Winry, Sleeper Besta was the master she had served for her whole life. Even after she died, she still held this belief. However, Chen Zhao had easily summoned a few demons and defeated Besta. Therefore, Chen Zhao was as formidable to Winry as a god. It seemed reasonable that Chen Zhao called Besta an octopus. Do you know where Treat hid his properties? Yes. He changed them to gold and hid it under the Mirror Lake waterfall. What about the rest? He also has some other properties in the form of artwork. Do you know where he hid them? Huh. I didn't even know that he has those. Raymond, do you have a way to make her painful? My corrosive venom can dissolve her soul bit by bit, Raymond answered. I really didn't know. Winry almost burst into tears. It was the first time in her life being so honest, but nobody seemed to believe her. Living Lord, I don't think she's lying. My eye of truth has been staring at her. If she's lying, I would know. I really don't know. I only know that Treat exchanged his properties for gold. I didn't know that he secretly hid some of his properties. Which means you're useless now, right? Chanzhao squinted and stared at Winry. Wait. I remember. A few years ago, Treat asked me to create a ward for him. Perhaps he hid the things there. Chapter 190 Gaia's Classes. Get beaten studiously. Chanzhao received a lot of information from Winry, who remained with Raymond afterward. Chanzhao spent 6 hours in hell. Raymond and Beelzebub were similar in power, but their statuses were still different. Beelzebub was like a feudal lord with a couple of acres of land. Raymond was a bachelor who lived by himself. Of course, they were both better off than the silly twins. At least, Raymond wouldn't go hungry, and he ruled over the endless bottomless. There was an endless supply of souls in the surrounding desert. If he was hungry, he could go over and have a meal. When he was tired, he could go lay down at home and sleep for a few years. His days were comfortable. He never had to worry about going hungry or if he could survive tomorrow. On the other hand, the silly twins were truly homeless demons. If Chun Zhao hadn't summoned them, they'd probably still be living their hard lives. The sun hadn't risen yet, so Chun Zhao went to sleep. In the morning, Chun Zhao heard the sound of the door opening and saw Fei Lai enter in his daze. Chun, you came back last night. Yeah. Where did you go? Fei Lai pressed. Did you go somewhere mysterious? Are there a lot of people like you? She was extremely curious about Chun Zhao, because he disappeared right before her eyes last night. She couldn't sleep at all. She needed to get an answer from Chun Zhao. Yes, but I can't tell you where it is. Is your group secretly protecting Earth? Stopping evil from invading? Since you guessed it, don't say it out loud. Really? You're a guardian of the Earth? Are there a lot of people like you? Actually, I'm the only one on Earth. I'm responsible for protecting it. You protect Earth alone? Are you an alien? Chun Zhao pursed his lips. He didn't continue because he was afraid that he wouldn't be able to keep bullshitting. You needed 1,000 lies to make up for one lie. That saying was completely true. Faced with a curious George like Fei Lai, Chun Zhao felt even more troubled. You can't tell me? All right, I'll stop asking. A moment later, Fei Lai continued, being a doctor is just your alias, right? It's my job, Chun Zhao said, rolling his eyes. Do you need an assistant? I suddenly feel like being with you is more meaningful than with the coastal rescue team. I don't need an assistant. Please, being with the coastal rescue team is meaningful too. But I want to protect Earth like you. Earth doesn't need me to protect it. If aliens invade someday or a meteorite falls, then it'll need me. I just need to be a good doctor right now. Fei Lai was about to reply, but Chun Zhao waved his hand. Don't ask when aliens will invade or when a meteorite will fall. I don't know. Okay, Fei Lai obviously wanted to ask that question. Chun Zhao suddenly regretted exaggerating like this. Once the truth was exposed, it would be really awkward. Breaking free from Fei Lai, he rushed out without eating breakfast. Oh. Seeing Chun Zhao, Gaia walked out of the office. Chun, how are you today? I'm fine. Why? Chun Zhao loosened up his muscles. He'd only slept for 4 hours, but he was clear-headed. I told you yesterday that I'll give you a small test. Did you forget? If I say I'm in a horrible shape today, can I delay the test? No, Gaia said emotionlessly. Go put on the protective gear. The people I invited are almost here. Chun Zhao put on his gear. A while later, the skilled fighters that Gaia invited arrived. Some were amateur enthusiasts, some were professional fighters, while others had practiced medium weight boxing before. Gaia introduced everyone to Chun Zhao. This was a test, not a competition, so everyone put on protective gear and gloves. This way no one would accidentally get hurt while fighting. People that Gaia thought were skilled would definitely be skilled. This was why Chun Zhao took things seriously. The 5 fighters were serious as well. They were very familiar with Gaia, and all 5 of them had been invited at once to test one student. This showed how much importance she placed on this. Chun, we're coming. The 5 fanned out and stood around Chun Zhao. Chun Zhao walked out first. Waving his fist, he went for a black man. The other four snatched the opportunity to attack him at once. In a blink of an eye, he was hit 3 or 4 times. It hurt even with the protective gear. Chun, get it straight, Gaia called from under the ring. You're facing 5 people, not 1. Don't attack at random. Even with Gaia's reminder, it was still hard to counter all 5 fighters. They weren't hooligans from the streets. Each of them could take on 3 opponents at once. It was unavoidable for Chun Zhao to get beaten up while the other 5 were untouched. Gaia kept giving him reminders from below the ring. What to do, how to attack, and how to defend. 20 minutes later, Chun Zhao finally hit someone, but it was only 1 punch. When he walked out of the ring, it felt like his bones were about to fall apart. It felt like when he'd gotten beaten up on his first meeting with Gaia. Chun Zhao tossed his gear down and fell onto the ground. So you're really disappointed, right? At that moment, the black fighter came down too and patted his shoulder. You did good. I was beaten up by you guys the entire time. That's good. There's 5 of us and 1 of you. Isn't it good enough that you could last for 20 minutes? When I got tested last time, I faced 3 guys and got flattened in less than 10 minutes. It was fate, Joma, and a pace. I just covered my head the whole time and was too scared to even punch. How about it? Gaia looked at Chun Zhao. Do you still think you're bad? Are you saying that I'm powerful now? Not that powerful, but at least you're undefeatable in taking hits. Even if I go up, I won't be able to last more than 10 minutes. So I'm powerful. If it was me, I wouldn't let myself get hit for 10 minutes. I'll take care of the fight in 10 minutes. I don't want to compete with you, monster. It's too damaging to my self-esteem. Chapter 191. It feels totally different to beat 5 weaklings. Chun Zhao had long given up his plan to take revenge on Gaia. Finding this human-shaped T-Rex for revenge was equivalent to committing suicide. It was only a small test today. When the entire boxing course ended, there would still be a real test. In the afternoon, Chun Zhao went to Mr. Doman's manor. What a lovely day it is. Smiling, Chun Zhao stared at Norman's face immediately darkened, not because she was ill, but just because she saw Chun Zhao. Chun Zhao looked at Norman's. Let's start the training today. I'm too hungry to exercise. Norman's lay on the lawn, deliberately disobeying Chun Zhao's instruction. 1 kilometer run, 1 chicken drumstick. Chun Zhao threw his bait. Norman's immediately stood up. The day before, she only got 1 drumstick after swimming for a kilometer, but today it was just running. Clearly, running was the easier of the 2. Swimming for a kilometer was really too tiring for her. But there's a condition. You have to run for 3 kilometers straight and you get 3 drumsticks. If you can't finish the entire journey, I'll only give you the corresponding number of apples. Hearing Chun Zhao's words, Norman's gritted her teeth firmly. This bastard is indeed mean and shameless. Norman's thought of all the cuss words she knew and used them on Chun Zhao. How much distance do I have to run if I want a whole chicken? Swim for 3 kilometers, Chun Zhao said. Why do the rewards for swimming and running differ so much when they're both 3 kilometers? You were in your school's sports team, so you should know well that swimming and running use very different amounts of energy. Then let's run first, Norman said. Of course. Let's go. I don't want to run here. Let's run on the street. Up to you. Considering Norman's self-esteem, Chun Zhao had been training her in the manner. Since Norman's wanted to go outside herself, Chun Zhao would obviously not stop her. The 2 left the manor and ran on the road by the sea. Beelzebub ran behind them. Actually, his stamina was comparable to Chun Zhao's. Bastard, slow down and talk to me. Chun Zhao slowed down. Do you still have additional energy to speak? After just a few hundred meters, Norman's already started to feel tired. She was too heavy after all. Every step she took would consume a significant amount of her strength. Asshole, if you stop the slimming course, I'll give you more money. Mr. Doman has already told me about this scenario earlier. Your pocket money every month is only 10,000, so I'm certain that you can't give me more money than your dad, Chun Zhao said with a smile. Asshole! Norman's cursed, gritting her teeth. Just then, someone approached them from the front. It was Daniel. He was also wearing a set of loose sportswear and running, his body already covered in sweat. Seeing Chun Zhao, Daniel approached him. Chun, what a surprise. What are you doing here? Work. Chun Zhao did not stop. Daniel turned around and ran beside Chun Zhao. He continued, aren't you a doctor? Chun Zhao pointed at Norman's, who was over 10 meters behind them. My current work is to slim her down. Huh, Norman's. Hey Daniel. Norman's and Daniel clearly knew each other. They greeted each other. Norman's, is Chun your slimming coach? A great choice. I didn't want this asshole here. It's all my dad. Do you know how vicious he is? Do you know how little I've eaten in the past 3 days? Less than what I would normally eat in an hour. Look at my belly. It looks so deflated. Norman's complained. This means it's working. I don't need any slimming. But I really hope that you'll become the charming woman you once were. And not like this. What? I don't believe that she was even once beautiful. Chun Zhao twitched his lips, his face filled with contempt. Actually, he had seen photos of Norman's in the past. She was indeed once pretty. I don't need you to believe anything. Norman's widened her eyes at Chun Zhao. Let's run together, Daniel invited. Chun Zhao remained silent. Daniel looked at Beelzebub, who had been running alone at the back. Is White Ma all right? Recovering well, Chun Zhao answered. Oh yeah, White Ma is that enormous white dog, right? Why didn't you bring him anymore after that day? What happened? He was bitten by a shark, Daniel said. You have no idea how brave Chun was. That day, White Ma and Black Ma were playing in the sea. When White Ma was attacked by the shark, Chun charged into the sea and fought with the shark. In the end, he even killed the shark. I didn't do much. Black Ma bit the shark to death. I checked the shark's carcass. Its gill was severely injured. Black Ma couldn't have done that. Norman's looked at Chun Zhao in surprise. She did not expect him to have such a brave side. Nevertheless, she would not show it. It must have been a baby shark. Of course not. It was an adult tiger shark that's 3.5 meters long and 600 kilograms heavy. It's indeed a top predator. You have no idea how dangerous the situation was. Daniel surely admired Chun Zhao a lot. At least he was not brave enough to fight with a tiger shark in the sea. To him it was almost like committing suicide. However, Chun Zhao actually did it in order to save his pets. Norman's clearly knew how fearsome an adult tiger shark was. In fact, tiger sharks even dared to attack whales. My grandpa even made that tiger shark into a specimen. Chun, when you're free you can go there and take a look at your own trophy. Sure. I'll go there if I'm free. Suddenly, a small truck appeared behind them. A few gangsters jumped down from the truck, all of them holding baseball bats. Their leader pointed at Chun Zhao with his bat directly and said, He's the one. Do we know each other? Chun Zhao was flabbergasted. Beat him up. The few gangsters leaped towards Chun Zhao right away. Crash. One of the gangsters managed to strike Chun Zhao's shoulder with his baseball bat. Chun Zhao kicked out in pain. The gangster flew backwards directly. Filled with anger, Chun Zhao lifted his arm and punched at the gangster who ran towards him again. Immediately, the gangster's baseball bat was broken into 2. Chun Zhao threw a left uppercut and the gangster collapsed onto the ground. And then fell the second, third, fourth and last gangster. The 5 gangsters were on a completely different level as the 5 experts Chun Zhao had fought in the morning. Against the 5 fighting experts, Chun Zhao could only try to block their attacks. However, against the 5 gangsters, Chun Zhao managed to subdue all of them in less than 3 minutes. Chapter 192. Extra practice today. The 5 hooligans lay in a mess on the ground. Chun Zhao rubbed his shoulder. It hurt from the first hit by the baseball bat. He could overlook the other attacks. Daniel looked at Chun Zhao in shock. Norman's expression was a bit unnatural. Chun Zhao lifted one guy up. Who told you to come? Don't know. The man was tight-lipped. Chun Zhao grabbed the man's wrist and twisted it forcefully. Ah, the man let out a pained cry, but he still didn't say anything. Chun Zhao let go of the wrist. It wasn't like he would actually shatter the bone. He tossed the man onto the ground. They'd been taught enough of a lesson. These guys were also certain that Chun Zhao couldn't kill them. After all, people had already called the cops. This was Beverly Hills. Plus, Chun Zhao guessed from Norman's reaction that these guys attacked him under her orders. A few minutes later, a police car came, sirens blaring. Daniel voluntarily explained the situation to the cops, saying that they'd been attacked. He and Norman's were both residents. What were the people who could live here like? The police obviously knew, so they didn't need Daniel to explain further. They naturally knew what to do. After all, Beverly Hills had their own police department and were the fastest at dispatched officers in all of LA. They were the bodyguards for these rich people. The police took the 5 hooligans away soon after. Chun, are you hurt?
No.
Chun Zhao shook his head. Norman's, let's continue. Are you sure you can still run? Norman's chubby cheeks quivered. Of course. I can run 10 more kilometers. Chun Zhao sneered. Your training plan today is to run 10 kilometers. What, why? Norman's exclaimed. You said we'll only run 3 kilometers. Because I got attacked, because I'm pissed off right now. He'd gotten beat up for no reason. Even though he'd won, he was still unable to be happy. I'm not going to run even if you kill me. Are you sure you're not running? I'm sure. Daniel, can you buy me some food? I'm hungry. Norman's instantly felt hungry. You asshole. Chun Zhao's tactic was the pettiest. Eating in front of her when she was hungry was more painful than death. What was more painful than eating before a fatty and not letting her eat too? In the end, Norman's gave in. Chun Zhao only gave her 1 bottle of water the entire time. Norman still forced herself to finish the 10 kilometers. On the other hand, Daniel glared at Chun Zhao with resentment. He'd been forced to run it all too. He was healthy, but 10 kilometers was a pretty big test to him too. Even Norman's could run the 10 kilometers. If he gave up halfway, it would be too embarrassing, so he had to finish even if he died in the end. The most annoying thing was that Chun Zhao ate the entire time with a relaxed expression. Norman's finally realized that Chun Zhao's fitness was much better than she'd expected. This asshole was a complete beast. However, it was also surprising to Norman's that she could complete the 10 kilometers. This was unimaginable to her. She probably couldn't have run so much even when she was in shape. Norman's looked at the bottle in her hands. Had something been added to the water? Chun Zhao had given it to her. She opened the bottle and sniffed, but there wasn't any odd smell. Can I get a roasted chicken for 10 kilometers? Norman's looked at Chun Zhao. No. 10 drumsticks. Norman started cursing at him again, but she accepted it in the end. However, she couldn't keep eating when she got to the 6th drumstick. She looked up at Chun Zhao. Did you do something to me? Chun Zhao wouldn't admit it even if he'd done something, but he replied matter-of-factly, don't blame everything on me. Intense exercise will cause gastric acid reversal. It's normal that you don't have an appetite. You forced me to run the 10 kilometers. Chun Zhao ignored her complaints. Are you done eating? If you are, then we'll run back. What? Run back? I'm not running. No, I need a car. If you don't run back, I'm going to tell your dad that you hired a gang to attack me. That's slander, you asshole. I have to go somewhere. Bye, Norman's. Daniel escaped. He didn't want to get involved in Chun Zhao and Norman's fight. Even more, he didn't want to run 10 kilometers again. Norman's cried while running. I'll kill you, asshole, one day. Don't forget. Drink some water if you can't run anymore. She was still crying by the time she reached the manor. Mr. Doman was already in hiding because he'd heard that his daughter cried on the way back. He didn't want to be the recipient of Norman's complaints. Plus, he thought that Chun Zhao was doing the right thing. At least, Norman's had thinned obviously over these past few days. Are you done crying? Come weigh yourself. 279 pounds. She'd been 295 pounds when she'd weighed herself before swimming yesterday. This meant that she'd lost more than 15 pounds from the nearly 2 kilometers of swimming yesterday, and today's 20 kilometers of running. Okay, let's swim. You only completed half of your tasks today. I don't have energy. Get up if you want to eat dinner tonight. Chun Zhao had to intensify Norman's daily exercise because as she lost more fat and water, the speed of losing weight would slow down too. He could only maintain the current speed by increasing her exercise. Norman's was practically dragged to the pool. Chun Zhao wasn't the type to go easy on girls. Plus, Norman's wasn't a girl. She was a monster. Chun Zhao only gave her enough food to maintain her health. She couldn't get anything more than that. After swimming 10 kilometers, Norman's discovered how shocking her endurance was. This was impossible. What was 10 kilometers for swimmers? Less than 1 in 1,000 people in the world could do it. Even most professional swimmers wouldn't be able to accomplish it. And yet she did it with her 279-pound body. She felt that Chun Zhao must have done something to her. Chapter 193. The Value of Artwork. Mr. Chun, why don't you stay here for dinner? Mr. Doman invited. I would love to, but I really need to go home. Is your girlfriend waiting for you at home? Chun Zhao shook his head. I have something else. All right then. Here's my business card. If you need these things, you can call me anytime. Mr. Doman gave Chun Zhao an exquisite business card. Chun Zhao glanced at the card. Written on the front was Mr. Doman's full name, Frickley Doman. On the back was his company's name, Elena Art Appraisal, as well as a bunch of phone numbers. Mr. Doman, are you an art appraiser? We also provide auctions, Mr. Doman said. Can I ask you something about artwork? What do you want to know? What's the simplest way to tell if a piece of art is valuable? Firstly, its age. In principle, the older something is, the more valuable it is. Next, its rarity. For example, in 1798, the French king gave out Crown of France commemorative gold coins. Today there are only 3 of them left and each is worth over $1 million. In the same year, the Bank of England gave out Empire commemorative coins. Because many collectors have them, each coin is only worth 10,000. Mr. Doman was very professional in the field. Even though Chun Zhao only wanted a brief introduction, Mr. Doman still tried his best to tell him all he could about artwork. Chun Zhao could only understand some of it because the rest were too technical. In fact, despite having spoken so much, Mr. Doman had merely scratched the surface of the field. It was obviously impossible to explain everything to an artwork newbie in just a day. Mr. Chun, if you want to know how much a piece of art is worth, the easiest way is to bring it to my company and get it appraised. Do not buy it before you know its value, Mr. Doman advised. Of course. Thank you, Mr. Doman. I have a book on art appraisal. You can read it when you're free. Thank you. Mr. Doman gave him the book and Chun Zhao accepted it. Oh. When Chun Zhao returned home, he realized that there was a guest. For was here. At the moment, she was helping Fei Lai in the kitchen. For why are you here? For glanced at Chun Zhao and stopped what she was doing. She followed Chun Zhao to the living room and stared at him with a judgmental look. Chun, what's your relationship with my sister? What do you mean? We're friends and also housemates. What relationship do you want us to have? Chun Zhao was bewildered by the question. Just then, Fei Lai walked out from the kitchen, carrying a plate of dish in her hand. She thinks that we're a couple. How about we make some progress tonight and break through our pure friendship? Chun Zhao laughed. Are you really just friends? For still did not believe them. After all, the fact that Fei Lai was staying in the same house as a man already indicated that she did not hate him. Maybe she even liked him. Why can't we just be friends? Moreover, even if we are a couple, what are you going to do? Bless us or stop us? I only want to know the truth. That's all. So you're just here to find contents for gossip. Chun Zhao sat on the sofa and reached out his hand, grabbing himself a piece of meat from the plate. For frowned, but Fei Lai was clearly already used to it. The fact that Chun Zhao could do so naturally and Fei Lai ignored it showed that their relationship was certainly not that simple. For let her imagination run wild in her head. Anyway, she only believed what she saw and thought. Suddenly, Chun Zhao removed his shirt. For was shocked. What are you doing? I forgot that you're here. Chun Zhao also realized it, but since he had already taken his shirt off, there was no reason for him to put it back on again. This only confirmed Four's guess that Chen Zhao and Fei Lai had at least once seen each other naked. What happened to your shoulder? Were you beaten by someone? Four saw the obvious bruise on Chen Zhao's left shoulder. My boxing coach accidentally punched me today during class. No. It's a bruise from a blunt weapon. Did your coach train you with a baseball bat? Help me apply some medication. Given Chen Zhao's physical strength, the gangster must have used a lot of force to leave such a bruise. As Four applied some cream on Chen Zhao's shoulder, she also admired Chen Zhao's body. I didn't know that you're so strong. Then, she even peeked at Fei Lai with the corner of her eye to see Fei Lai's reaction. Unfortunately, Fei Lai had seen Chen Zhao's body way too many times. She had in fact even seen Chen Zhao fully naked before. Just then White Ma approached them with trembly movement. He carefully looked at Chen Zhao and Four, after which he extended his paw and got himself a piece of meat. White Ma had already discovered that because he was injured, Chen Zhao and Fei Lai were exceptionally tolerant to his actions. Realizing that White Ma had succeeded, Black Ma followed suit. Before he even reached out, however, Chen Zhao already kicked him away. Go away. Can't you see that we have a guest? Don't you know how to spell embarrassment? How did that white wolf get injured? Why is everyone beside me able to tell that they're wolves? They're too big even for wolves. Even the largest dog can't reach their size. Black Ma and White Ma had a shoulder height of over 120 centimeters and weighed over 100 kilograms. They were clearly two powerful beasts. You haven't told me how he got injured. Bitten by a shark. That's unlucky. You mean he's lucky? At least he's still alive. I guess you're right. Having kicked by Chen Zhao, Black Ma was obviously dispirited. He took out some dog food by himself and then started eating at the door. Seeing Black Ma's extremely intelligent act, Four could not help but laugh. She had never seen a dog which knew how to take a packet of dog food from the shelf, open it and eat it. More importantly, Black Ma was a wolf. Sell me a dog. No way. Stop asking me this again, Chen Zhao answered emotionlessly. Don't forget that you owe me a favor. Please. You only helped me to analyze a blood sample. I can at most pay you the money for the analysis. Stop threatening me with this. Can't you tell I was joking? Four widened her eyes at Chen Zhao. Do you know each other before? I didn't even know, Fei Lai said, clearly implying something else. We weren't close. Met each other a few times during work, Four quickly explained. She did not want her sister to misunderstand anything. Chin, are you still working as an illegal doctor? Why don't you get a medical license? It shouldn't be difficult for you, right? Of course it's difficult. I've learned most of my medical knowledge in China, which is somewhat different from the one in America. If I want to get a medical license, I won't be able to work at all for half a year. Chapter 194, Lost Doomstar. Four left, not staying for the night. After she left, Chen Zhao and Fei Lai felt much more relaxed. It had been as if they were meeting the parents. Four kept asking a bunch of questions, making them uncomfortable. Fei Lai walked around the living room in her bra. Chen Zhao sat on the sofa in his boxers. He flipped through the art appraisal book. To be honest, most of the content was good at curing insomnia. He'd rather flip through medical books than this book. However, his hand stopped on the explanation on one page. It was a colored picture of the lost Doomstar. It was a huge black diamond. The caption also stated that this picture was made digitally. It wasn't the true lost Doomstar. The right page introduced the diamond. The Doomstar had been discovered in 1820 in Africa. It was 380 carats. The expedition team that had discovered this diamond had massacred the tribe that owned it. It had been 163 lives. When this bloodied black diamond was brought back to Britain, the most skilled artisan at the time turned it into a pendant. However, after the artisan completed the work, he lost both his hands in an accident. A noble received the pendant, but both he and his manor was lost in a fire. The pendant then fell into the hands of a prostitute. She was killed by her client. This pendant encasing the black diamond continued being passed on, but none of the owners had good endings. The name Doomstar began spreading. In the end, no one dared to collect it. Finally, it was sent to the Royal Museum to be exhibited. However, the museum had a fire and the Doomstar disappeared once again. In 1882, an American businessman bought it from a city rogue for $800. He planned on taking the Doomstar to America. He was traveling on the brigantine Mary Celeste to New York. However, the Mary Celeste never reached New York. It disappeared in the Pacific Ocean. In 1883, a ship met the Mary Celeste in the ocean and the sailors even boarded the ship to look. The Mary Celeste was empty of people. The goods that were to be shipped were all intact. There were no signs of struggle. After checking, they also found that there was sufficient food and fresh water. Most of the food was still edible even though the ship had been lost for more than a year. However, the sailors and passengers had all disappeared. Not a single bone was there. This was also the Mary Celeste's last time appearing in everyone's eyes. No one ever saw it again. Some people claimed to have seen the ship, but these comments had no evidence, so that was that. Even now, some people claim to have seen the ship with some vintage and blurry pictures for proof. The Doomstar also disappeared with the Mary Celeste. Chen Zhao picked up his tablet and searched for the Mary Celeste. Many pictures popped up. Most of them were pictures of an aged brigantine. One picture attracted his attention. This was a black and white picture from the 60s. It seemed to have been taken from a mile away. The brigantine in the picture looked very old. As if it had been fished out of the sea, there was a lot of seaweed on it and the entire ship was rotten. What are you looking at? Fei Lai came to Chen Zhao's side and poked her head over. When she saw the picture on the tablet, Chen Zhao felt her arms shake. Is it this one? Fei Lai nodded powerfully. Yes, this one. You found it? Walter had found a wooden board that said Mary on it. Do you know about the Doomstar? Doomstar? What's that? This. Chen Zhao handed the art appraisal book to her. Fei Lai furrowed her brows. You really saw it before. I bought a pendant from a flea market before. The black diamond looks like this too, but it only costed $100. The seller and I both thought that it was a fake. Is it here? Wait, I'll go get it. Fei Lai jogged to her room. A moment later she took out a pendant. The black diamond on it really was the lost Doomstar. Chen Zhao gasped. Black Ma suddenly started growling at Fei Lai's pendant. Black Ma, what's wrong? Demon badge. It's a demon badge. Beelzebub also stood up, staring hard at the Doomstar. Master, this demon badge has a powerful curse. Chen Zhao thought for a moment. Turning to Fei Lai, he said, Fei Lai, I'm afraid you can't keep this lost Doomstar. It will hurt you. Is everything true on the book? It has evil power. What should I do with it? Toss it? Give it to me, Beelzebub said immediately. I can eat it. Give me, Black Ma said. I can wear it. Its power is similar to mine. I can unleash its power. It was evident that he really wanted the Doomstar. Is there a way to expel the power and keep the Doomstar? Chen Zhao asked. Beelzebub and Black Ma shook their heads at once. Impossible. Chen Zhao looked at Fei Lai. You have two choices now. Let Black Ma wear it or let Beelzebub eat it. Let Beelzebub eat it? Are you serious? He likes eating weird things. Chen Zhao shrugged. Just then Chen Zhao's phone rang. It was from Sienna. Chen, I discovered the ghost ship. Yesterday, some people on a yacht near Angel Beach recorded something and posted it online. It's the Mary Celeste. My teacher and a dozen witches died on that ghost ship. I advise you to give up. This ghost ship is scary. I'm afraid I have to face it, Chen Zhao said. This ghost ship is here for Fei Lai. What? Fei Lai bought something amazing. She used $100 to buy what she thought was a fake, but is actually a 380-carat black diamond. This is what started it all. What? Sienna cried. Why don't I have this luck? Why? I feel pain. No, I can't breathe. Chapter 195. Launching the attack first. Whenever Sienna thought about how Fei Lai had gotten a 380-carat black diamond with just $100, she could feel herself go insane. It was such an expensive gem. If it was sold in an auction, it would probably cost hundreds of millions. If you're the one who bought the Doomstar instead, what will you do? Sell it away? Why not? You better search the history of Doomstar online. Then you'll get it. Chun Zhao started to devise a plan. Their main goal now was to eliminate the ghost ship, or Mary San Frisco. The only problem was that he had no idea whether the ghost ship had been targeting Fei Lai or the Doomstar. If it was the Doomstar, Chun Zhao would just take the Doomstar and wait for the ghost ship to find him. However, if it was Fei Lai instead, the situation would be much more troublesome. She had to either stay away from the sea for her entire life, or be the bait. Fei Lai, give me the Doomstar. Let's see if the ghost ship will find me instead. Chen Sienna just said that the ghost ship is very powerful. Let's not go and find it. Even if we don't look for it, it might continue to look for you. Do you plan to not go to the sea for the rest of your life? After brief consideration, Fei Lai still gave the Doomstar to Chun Zhao. When are you going? Tonight, Chun Zhao said. So soon? Aren't you going to prepare? No need. You should at least for White Ma to heal. He might be able to help. He can't help. I won't need him anyway. Chun Zhao had already talked with Blackie, who said that he could settle the ship. Since Blackie said that there would not be a problem, it must be the case. However, Fei Lai seemed to be somewhat lost due to Chun Zhao's abrupt decision. She wanted to follow him there but did not dare to. The encounter with the ghost ship that night was indeed a psychological trauma for her. This time Chun Zhao only brought Blackie with him and no demon else. Rasva, do you have a contact number for any yacht rental companies? Yes. Are you going to rent a yacht? Yup. I have a yacht. You can come here. No, I don't want a big yacht like the one you have. I only need a normal one. Why do you need a yacht? A party? If it's a party, of course you need a big one. It's complicated. I might even damage your yacht. I don't want to pay that much money in case I destroy it. Give me the contact number of a yacht rental company. Chun Zhao was also unsure about how this mission would progress. Rasva thought about it and said, I have more than just one yacht. In fact, I have a much smaller one that's been at a port for quite some time. It's rather old, but it can still be used. If you need it, I can give the yacht to you for free. Oh. Stop hesitating and just come here. That abandoned small yacht is only about $200,000 or $300,000. Alright then. Can I operate it alone? Of course. It's not hard to operate a yacht. After all, if it's too difficult, nobody will buy it. Many rich people like to operate their own yachts and go out to the sea. Chun Zhao hurried to Rasva's house. When he arrived, he saw Manny there too. Hi, Manny. I don't want to speak to you, stingy cat. Manny turned around and left. Chun Zhao was confused. He could not remember offending Manny before. Haha. Chun, look at the wall. Chun Zhao turned his head and saw a tiger shark specimen hanging on the wall. Is that the shark which hurt White Ma? In the specimen, the damaged parts had all been repaired. It looked like a real shark which was looking for a prey in the sea. Also the one which bit Daniel. I didn't expect there to be such a killer in my beach. Luckily you killed it. I didn't actually do much. Black Ma did most of the job. Chun, here's the key to my yacht, Seek. I'll ask Paul to bring you there. Alright. The thing I have is somewhat urgent. I'll go now. Sure. Be careful. Rasva did not ask Chun Zhao to stay. Instead, he asked Paul to bring Chun Zhao to the port. When they reached the port, Chun Zhao realized that it was filled with yachts, many of which were waiting to be thrown away. There were almost 20 million yachts in America, while there were just over 300 million people. This meant that on average, every 15 people owned a yacht. Thus, cheap yachts were really very cheap. Some only cost 100,000. Nevertheless, when Paul brought Chun Zhao to the yacht Seek, Chun Zhao realized that he had been deceived. It was definitely not a yacht that was only 200,000 or 300,000. This yacht, which was waiting to be abandoned, cost at least $1 million. Even after considering depreciation, it could be sold at about 500,000 or 600,000. Seek was 22 meters long and had 3 floors, including the lower cabin. At the top of the yacht was an open-air platform, Inside the yacht, there were 4 bedrooms, a living room, a kitchen, and 2 public restrooms. It was indeed a luxurious apartment. Paul followed Chun Zhao onto the yacht. Chun, do you want me to stay here and help you operate the ship? Nope. Just teach me how to. It's not hard, right? It's simple, don't worry. It's not more difficult than driving a car. I can't drive a car. As long as you know how to use a tablet. This yacht has an autopilot function. The yacht's operation was indeed very simple. After over 10 minutes, Chun Zhao learned most of the things he needed. Then Paul left the yacht and Chun Zhao set off. Chun Zhao also did not know where he should go. Anyway, he entered a random course and set the yacht on autopilot. He did not have to worry about anything else. Chun Zhao sat on the open-air platform and stared at the starry sky, waiting for the ghost ship to show up. However, waiting here and doing nothing was rather boring. Chun Zhao ran back into the cabin, looking for something to drink. Suddenly, a head stretched out from one of the bedrooms. Manny! Chun Zhao screamed. Manny turned his head and looked at Chun Zhao. The two stared at each other in silence. Why are you on the ship? Chun Zhao roared. Why can't I be on the ship? Manny pouted, unconcerned. It's my grandfather's yacht. Do you know that there are some perverts who will find ways to get a girl out on the sea? After they're done playing with her, they'll throw her into the sea to feed the sharks. Looking at Chun Zhao's gloomy face, Manny shivered and stared at him in horror. Are you that kind of pervert? Are you scared now? Why didn't you think of the consequences when you boarded the yacht? I just wanted to see why you're coming out to the sea. Who would know that you're a pervert? Manny cried in fear. Chun Zhao could not stop shaking in anger. He called Rasfa. Rasfa, your granddaughter is now on the yacht. I have no idea when she hit here. Huh? Manny's on the yacht? I'll return now and send her to the shore. Ask Paul to wait for her there. Chun Zhao ran into the cockpit, cancelled the original course, and then set the yacht to return. However, the operating system seemed to be dysfunctional. Despite trying for a long time, Chun Zhao could not finish the setup. Chapter 196, Storm at Sea, Lost Contact. Manny, don't you know how to steer a yacht? Manny was still wiping her tears. She looked at Chun Zhao with resentment. She knew that Chun Zhao was scaring her, but she'd really had a fright earlier. Idiot, you can't even do these simple things. If you keep yapping, I'm gonna toss you into the sea. If you keep threatening me, I'll tell the cops when we land that you tried raping me. You better bribe the hospital for injury verification first. Manny glared at Chun Zhao and came to the steering position. Huh? How come you can't turn off autopilot? Manny tried turning it off but failed. Did you mess up the system? How come you can't turn it off? Pfft. Seems like you aren't any smarter than me, Chun Zhao mocked. The automatic screen seemed to have been disturbed, kept flashing erratically. Chun Zhao suddenly had a bad feeling. Manny, go to the bedroom and don't come out. What's wrong? Listen and go hide. Don't come out no matter what you hear. Manny checked Chun Zhao's expression. Before, he'd always had an annoying smile, but he looked completely different now. His expression was now serious, like something major was about to happen. The yacht kept cruising forward without stopping. Just then, a light on the side of the steering system lit up. What does this light mean? Manny pointed at the flashing screen. Storm. We're heading toward a storm. Fuck. Chun Zhao moved the rudder. Can you make the boat stop? You can only use manual operation if you turn off the autopilot. Isn't there some emergency alternative? Like if the system stops working, you can press the emergency button and turn to manual? No. Go put on a life vest, Chun Zhao said, expression hard. He took his phone out, but he didn't have a signal. The waves were still tossing and hitting the yacht, making it start to shake. Ah! Chun Zhao turned to look. Manny's foot hit the side because the turbulence and twisted her ankle. I knew that you would be trouble, Chun Zhao gritted out, pointing at her. Chun Zhao really wanted to leave her here to die, but she was Zola's daughter. He had to help. He squatted down to check Manny's foot. It wasn't serious and was just a bump with light bruising. He tugged down a life vest from the side and put it on Manny. No matter what happens later, don't leave my side. Chun, are we going to die here? No. But I'm scared. Scared? And you still jumped on? I didn't know. At that moment, the light in the horizon disappeared. The starlight was completely covered by a black shadow. The yacht started shaking violently. Chun Zhao sat in the seat, one hand around Manny, the other flipping through a book. What are you looking at? Manny asked. Emergency Escape Manual. You're reading it now. It's not like we can do anything else. Manny stared at him. Can't you make a useful suggestion? Then let's wait for death. Of course, a medium-sized yacht like this one was able to resist storms to a point, if nothing else happened. The storm was approaching. There was an even darker black shadow in the storm. The ghost ship. It finally appeared. Manny shivered while Chun Zhao hugged her tightly. Manny, did you see something? What? Nothing. Chun Zhao shook his head. He held the Doom Star in the other hand. It really lived up to its name. He ran into a storm as soon as he was out to sea, appearing with the ghost ship. It was unknown whether the storm was caused by the Doom Star or the ghost ship. The ship shook violently. Chun Zhao and Manny both felt that they were tossed into the air for a bit. The next moment, the ship landed heavily in the water. The ship was still in one piece and had no damages. This didn't mean that they were safe, though. Instead, the true danger hadn't arrived yet. The ghost ship was coming straight for the yacht. Chun Zhao hugged Manny tightly and rushed out of the cockpit, jumping into the sea. At that moment, the yacht was already distorted by the crash and toppled over. Blackie! Chun Zhao yelled. Blackie had already rushed toward the ghost ship. The wind grew stronger. The waves grew angrier. The ghost ship started flipping over too. Countless evil spirits on the ship cried and howled. Blackie activated the bloodshed because he was on a whole other level from the evil spirits. To Blackie, these evil spirits and even the ghost ship were just sheep. No amount of sheep posed a threat to a tiger. However, Chun Zhao couldn't care about Blackie's battle against the ghost ship. He had to deal with the sea now. The waves kept hitting him and Manny. Manny choked on a few mouthfuls of seawater. Protect your face. Stop drinking the water. Holding Manny with one hand, Chun Zhao blocked the waves from her with the other. That was all he could do now. The waves were too strong and he couldn't swim at all. No matter how strong a human was, he still couldn't go up against nature. Chun, I'm scared. Are we going to die? Manny was sobbing because she was genuinely afraid. It was her first time in a life-or-death situation. Even an adult would panic and feel helpless, let alone a girl. No. Oh. Feilai was unsettled the entire night. She couldn't fall asleep. Rain poured down outside, making her even more unsettled. She picked up her phone to call Chun Zhao, but it kept saying that he wasn't in the service zone. Just then she suddenly received a notification. Last night, a strong air current appeared in the southwest of the coast. Wind power reached level 10 with huge waves. Due to the bad weather, signal has also been disrupted. Marine operators should not head out onto the sea within 24 hours to avoid danger. Seeing this, Feilai's expression changed. She started panicking, not knowing what to do. Sienna, something happened to Chun. What? Sienna had been deep in sleep. Hearing Feilai's voice, she was still in a daze. Chun brought the Doom Star to sea and ran into a storm. Sienna woke up immediately. How is he now? I don't know. The call won't go through. Chapter 197 New Demon Servant on the Sea. Zola, Manny's in danger. What? What danger? What happened to her? When Zola received the call from Rasfa, she still had no idea what had happened. Last night I lent Chin a yacht. Manny sneaked onto the yacht. When they were coming back to shore, they met a windstorm. Where are they now? How's Manny? My people have already found the overturned yacht, but neither of them is on the yacht. Zola felt the whole world turn upside down, as if it was the end of the world. Dad, help me find Manny, please. Help me find her. She's just a kid, Zola cried in sorrow. I've already sent out a search and rescue team. Rasfa was similarly anxious. Zola. You need to be prepared for the worst. Rasva could hear Zola sob at the other side of the phone. He hung up. What does Manny's positioning watch say? No signals. Rasva already regretted his decision. Manny was in danger precisely because he had lent Chanjiao the yacht. Oh, Chen, I'm thirsty. Manny lay on Chanjiao's back. They had already been in the sea for an entire night. The scorching sun after the storm was evaporating the water in their bodies away at an astonishing rate. Chanjiao continued to swim forward slowly, carrying Manny on his back. I'm thirsty too. Chanjiao regretted not bringing some plain water in the spatial ring. Now they had no plain water at all. You sure we're going in the correct direction? Chanjiao asked. Maybe. I dunno. Manny looked around her. The sun just rose up from that side, right? I can't remember, Chanjiao admitted. Will we die here? No. Remove your life vest and cover your head. I'm carrying you. You won't need it. Most of Manny's body was submerged in seawater, which could block most of the sunlight. Nonetheless, she still felt hot from the sunlight that was shining onto her head. Chanjiao was worried that Manny would be dehydrated before they reached the shore or were rescued. In such a situation, he would not even have the chance to save her. Chen, you tired? No. Even if Chanjiao was tired, he would not admit it. Manny was in her most vulnerable state at the moment. Chanjiao was worried that she would mentally collapse. After a few more hours in the sea, it was already noon. Manny's voice gradually diminished. Chanjiao turned around and held Manny. Manny, wake up. Manny. She did not respond. Her lips were dry and her forehead was burning. The worst scenario had happened. Chanjiao tried to think of a solution. He was not even sure if he was heading in the correct direction. Swimming for 7 or 8 hours was very tiring even for him. Chanjiao was very exhausted. He also wanted to just give up. Tiredness appeared again, continuously breaking down his mental defense. In such a desperate situation, most people would give in, even the most determined of all. But Manny was in peril. If Chanjiao could not think of a solution, she would actually die. So tired. Don't want to move anymore. So tired too. Don't want to move anymore too. Suddenly, Chanjiao heard a voice in his mind. Hallucination. Chanjiao shook his head. Suddenly, Chanjiao's feet touched something big. Shark. Chanjiao immediately curled his legs. Because of his previous experience, the first thing he thought of when he touched something in the sea was sharks. If it was really a shark, Manny and he were dead for sure. He was in a very bad shape at the moment. Any large predator could kill the two of them easily. Just then the thing underwater floated up slightly. Chanjiao's feet touched it again. It was not a shark. It felt even larger than a shark. Chanjiao lowered his head and saw a huge patch of darkness under him. The thing was indeed much larger than a shark. The next moment, the thing floated out of the sea and carried Chanjiao and Manny on its back. Chanjiao finally saw it clearly. It was a killer whale, a predator more powerful than the sharks. It was truly a king of the sea. I'm so tired. Can you come down from my back? Chanjiao heard the voice in his head again. He was stunned. Are you talking to me? I feel tired just talking to you. Demon. Yes. What's your name? Chanjiao asked. Amon Beria, subordinate of Sloth. Why are you asking me for my name when you're the one who summoned me from hell? Did I summon him? Another subordinate of the 7 great demon kings. Anyway, Chanjiao did not expect himself to summon such a huge guy, not to mention that he was aquatic. Amon Beria was significantly bigger than normal killer whales. The largest killer whale could be up to 10 meters long and weigh about 10 tons. However, Amon was at least 15 meters long. He was a real giant. Bring us towards the northeast, Chanjiao said. I'm too tired to move. Do you want demonic crystals? Yes. Bring us there. Tired? Then what do I need you for? You lazy pig. Why did you even summon me? You're my demon servant now. You have to listen to me. But I just don't want to move. Chanjiao gritted his teeth. Do you know that among all my demon servants, there's a subordinate of Raymond, the king of lust? So, if you defy my orders again, I'll ask Raymond to make you mate continuously, and you'll never be able to stop. Think carefully. Northeast, right? Aman agreed readily. Chun Zhao was speechless. What kind of demons did he have? Could he not just have an ordinary demon? After a while, Manny was awakened by the cool sea breeze. Chun, where are we now? Are we found by the rescue team? Soon. Then we're. Manny touched the thing she was on. It felt wet and slippery. It's a whale. We're quite lucky. Are you sure it will bring us home? Yes. Don't worry. Will it suddenly go underwater, and we'll be in the sea again? No, we've had an agreement. Chun, do you know animal language? No. Whales are intelligent creatures. You don't have to talk to them. They'll be able to understand certain things by themselves. But how can you be sure that it'll send us to the shore? Just rest assured. Aman might be lazy, but his speed in water was really amazing. Chun Zhao and Manny felt as if they were riding on the waves. When the sea breeze and the seawater hit onto their faces, it even felt slightly painful. There, go that way. Manny seemed to be fully energized again and started instructing Aman excitedly. Chapter 154. Captain. After lunch, Chun Zhao bid farewell to Diana and Evely. After leaving the school, Gaia called. Chun, I heard from Morgary that you want to go against someone. That bastard. He said he'll keep it a secret. Morgary didn't sell you out. He called me to ask if I know anyone, so I called you. What, you want some extra income? I don't do that, Gaia said. But I know some veterans. I don't plan on starting a war. I don't plan on having my friends join a war either. But they're good at things other than holding guns too. Gaia, you should know that what I'm doing is more dangerous than a war. I have to face a billionaire. My friends need money. They won't mind the danger if they're paid enough. Then what can they help me with? Do you have time? We can talk. Sure. I'll go to the gym to find you. After arranging that, Chun Zhao hurried over to the gym. He hadn't come in a few days, but he told Gaia beforehand that he was quite busy. However, he was forced to make time today. Gaia was the coach for the army before. She was definitely more knowledgeable in this aspect than him. When Ola Miller saw Chun Zhao, she led him into Gaia's office. Miller, close the door and don't let anyone in, Gaia ordered. Okay. Ola knew that they must have to talk about something important. After she left, the office's mood turned heavy. You need to face Philip Quinn, right? Why are you asking me if you already heard from Morgary? I need you to reply personally. Yes. What do you plan on doing to him? 3 minutes. Give me 3 minutes of private time with him. What are you going to do to him in those 3 minutes? That's my own matter. I can introduce you to some people. They're experts in this field and can arrange everything for you, from the plan to action. What's the price? $100,000 for everything. Are they reliable? They're experts in this. They're definitely reliable. To what extent can they do it? If Morgary's men follow their orders, they'll ensure at least 80% chance for you to have 3 minutes alone with Philip. What if they fail? You still have to pay, Gaia answered. Hearing this, Chun Zhao had a headache. However, he had no other choice. His mind was muddled and he had no clue where to start. If they fail, I only need to pay $50,000, Chun Zhao said, training his eyes on Gaia. Okay. Gaia nodded, accepting the request. Someone will contact you later. Just as Chun Zhao left the gym after their talk, his phone rang. It was a stranger. The voice on the other end of the call was raspy and deep. Hello, I'm Lloyd Word. You can call me Captain. Captain Lloyd Word? Is that your military title? Did Gaia introduce you? Yes, Gaia introduced me, but that's not my title. It's my nickname. So, Captain, you should know what I want, right? Let you be alone with Philip Quinn for 3 minutes, correct? Lloyd asked. Are you confident? Of course. I won't fool around with the lives of my men and I have a family. Should we meet? No need. Then how do we do it? Just wait for my alert. He sounded really professional. But Chun Zhao wasn't confident in a partner that he'd never met before. While walking down the street, someone bumped into him. The man fell to the ground. I'm sorry. Chun Zhao reached out to help him up. The man's hair was messy and had an unshaven face. He carried a few books and looked panicked. It's okay. The guy hurried away. Chun Zhao saw a metallic coin on the ground and picked it up. It was twice the size of regular coins. It was a strange material too. It felt heavy and he didn't know what kind of metal it was made out of. It also looked vintage. The carved design was strange too. The top side was like some animal's head and the other side had a 6-point star. Hey, you dropped something. The guy was only a few feet away, but he pretended that he didn't hear. He kept walking forward without looking back. Chun Zhao jogged over and grabbed the thin guy. Hey, this is yours, right? The man looked at the coin in Chun Zhao's hands with hesitation. A beat later he still took it. Thanks. With that he turned and left. Chun Zhao looked at him in confusion. A moment later, he seemed to see a shadow following the man. Sienna and Chris were both comforting Fei Lai, but her tears flowed down without stopping. Fei Lai, Chun will be fine, David said. Don't forget that he's not an average guy. Ask Sienna if you don't believe me. Yeah. Fei Lai, Chun will come back safely. Sienna wasn't confident either. She was a spiritualist herself, so she was clear that normal people and spiritualists weren't much different when faced with a storm. Humans couldn't go up against nature. Sienna felt that Chun Zhao might be dead. Just then they heard the door open. Everyone in the room froze. Fei Lai stood up immediately, looking at the door. Hey Sienna, David, Chris, how come you're all here? Chun Zhao walked in. Fei Lai rushed toward him and planted a kiss on Chun Zhao's lips. Chun Zhao was stunned. What was happening? Fei Lai, wait. What happened? Chun Zhao pushed Fei Lai away. Her kiss was too strong. Chun Zhao even wondered if his lips were bruised from the impact. Plus, Fei Lai clearly didn't have any experience. Chun Zhao suspected that Fei Lai's kissing techniques were copied from movies. Nothing. Fei Lai suddenly let go of Chun Zhao and returned to the sofa. Sienna and Chris were both dazed while David looked at Chun Zhao with envy. Chun, I think I should go face a storm too. Then maybe Sienna and Chris will welcome me like that too when I get home. Sienna smiled at Fei Lai. Fei Lai, can you explain what that kiss meant? Fei Lai looked up at Chun Zhao. Chun, let's date. Huh. You don't want to? Chun Zhao really wasn't prepared. Looking at Fei Lai's dark expression, Chun Zhao slapped himself. I want to. Chapter 199. Be together. To be honest, Chun Zhao was indeed not mentally prepared at all. It was really too sudden. However, he did not know how to reject Fei Lai, whom he had been staying with for so long. In the end, witnessed by 3 friends, Fei Lai successfully proposed to Chun Zhao. Chun, how did you escape from the storm? David asked. I was lucky. Got myself a new pet in the sea. What pet? A killer whale. Name's Aman. He sent me to the shore. Oh. Everyone was speechless. They all knew that none of Chun Zhao's pets was ordinary. His pets were at least intelligent. Fei Lai had even seen for herself how Black Ma and White Ma had appeared. Hence, they all seemed to be very interested in Aman. David even asked excitedly, Where's Aman now? Of course he's in the sea. You didn't think I would carry Aman back, did you? When can we go and see him? Maybe next time when you're all free. You've all been here for the whole day. Go back and rest, Fei Lai said. Now that Chin's back, you're going to chase us away like this? I'm staying tonight, Sienna complained in dissatisfaction. Sienna, stop being a third wheel. We should leave before they kill us. Chris pulled Sienna away. David gave Chun Zhao a hug and then left with them too. Chun Zhao and Fei Lai both sat on the sofa in silence. Suddenly Fei Lai stood up. I'm taking a shower. Chun Zhao reached out and pulled Fei Lai into his arms. Not now. Let's shower together later. Fei Lai was extremely nervous, but Chun Zhao would clearly not allow her to retreat. He made the first move. Unable to resist Chun Zhao's aggression, Fei Lai gave in almost immediately. Nonetheless, Chun Zhao did not overdo it. It was Fei Lai's first time after all. In the bathroom, Fei Lai actively started another round. Only after a tiring battle the two stopped. It was the first night they slept in each other's arms. Fei Lai lay on Chen Zhao's chest, feeling his warmth. It felt so quiet and peaceful, a feeling that Fei Lai had never experienced before. The next day, Fei Lai was clearly fully energized and rejuvenated. Chun, do you want me to send you anywhere? No. Be careful at work. I know. See you. It would seem like their conversation was just as usual, but in fact it already felt different. Chen Zhao sat on the sofa alone. After Fei Lai left the house, he took out his phone. Hey Zhilin. Chen? You sound so strange. Are you in love? It was a common belief that women were much more sensitive. Chen Zhao did not expect Zhilin to be able to guess what he wanted to say before he even did. Yes. Congrats. Zhilin's gentle smile could be heard from the other side of the phone. She gave Chen Zhao her sincere blessing. Thanks, Chen Zhao replied emotionlessly. When are you coming back to Los Angeles? Maybe never. I'm planning to work at the station in San Francisco. I see. I still have work to do now. Until next time. All right. Goodbye. Bye. Since Chen Zhao had accepted Fei Lai's proposal, he had to leave the other relationships he had in the past. Unlike a novel, in reality, few women could tolerate playful boyfriends. It was just like how Chen Zhao could not accept his girlfriend having an affair. Clearing the relationships he had in the past was good for both him and Fei Lai. Just then Chen Zhao received a call from Marguerite. Chen, are you free? What? You promised me that you'll treat my baldness. Fine. Where are you? Right in front of your door. When Chen Zhao left the house, he saw Marguerite's car at once. Marguerite also saw Chen Zhao's entire family of pets behind him. Chen, what are those two things? Don't tell me they're Alaskan Malamutes because they're definitely not. They are what you think they are. Don't tell me they're coming too. My car's too small for them. They're not going onto your car, but you're coming out. Since you're already here, let's have the treatment in my house. Sure. Marguerite followed Chen Zhao into his house with some curiosity. Chen, your house is different from what I thought. How? I thought your house would be filled with the smell of medicine. Also, your house is too tidy for a person who has so many pets. I've had a dog before as well. That asshole would make a mess in my house every day. Simple. If my dog dares to behave badly in my house, I'll beat the shit out of him. Chen Zhao was about to treat Marguerite when he heard Azina's voice from the outside. Realizing that the door was unlocked, Azina shouted at the door to inform Chen Zhao and then came in directly. Hi Chen. If you're here to play with Black Ma and White Ma, they're in the yard. White Ma's injured and can't run. I'm busy now. All right. Chen Zhao had treated Marguerite a few times already, so Marguerite really trusted him. Nevertheless, when Marguerite removed his shirt and Chen Zhao saw the gun hidden in it, his face darkened right away. Marguerite, if you bring your gun into my house again next time, I'll chase you out. I didn't bring it for you. It's just that I have too many enemies. If I don't bring a gun, I'll feel really unsafe. Then next time I'll go to your place. Will we still have another session? Of course. Do you think it's that easy to treat hair loss? How long do I need to see the effect? About a month. You need to contact me every week. Okay. How much is it? 2,000 per session. Here you go. Marguerite readily paid Chen Zhao like he always did. By the way, last time you asked me about black market drugs. I'll give you a number. Tell the person that I introduced you. All right. Thanks. Soon after Marguerite left, Dion Sloat came. Chen, I'll only be the mayor till next week. What's your decision about the land near Mirror Lake? If you delay further, after I resign from my position, I will no longer be able to promise you that you can definitely get the land. At least you won't be able to get it at the same price. After some consideration, Chen Zhao made his final decision. I'll buy it. When are you free? Now. I still have something else later. Sure. Chen Zhao still had the 500,000 check that Ethan had given him. Since he had enough money, he decided to be quick before it was too late. The procedure was pretty easy. Chen Zhao signed the land purchase agreement, notarized it, and then paid the deposit. All the formalities took less than an hour. After he finished everything, he finally felt relieved. Then, he went to the fitness center for the boxing class. Gaia asked Chen Zhao curiously, "Qian, did you encounter a windstorm yesterday on the sea?" "How did you know?" "Coastal Rescue Team. One of my former students is working there. I saw the photos of you and another girl being sent to the team. They sent out at least 100 search and rescue ships for you." "Yup. Luckily I came back alive," Chen Zhao said. "Great. How do you feel now?" "Not half bad." Suddenly Chen Zhao's phone rang. "Excuse me. Help. Chen, come here now." Hearing the screams from the phone, Chen Zhao's face darkened immediately. It was obviously none other than Del. Chapter 200. This isn't looking for trouble, it's a sin. Gaia looked at Chen Zhao. "Your patient seems to have an emergency." "It looks like I can't have class today," Chen Zhao said helplessly. He was curious as to what trouble Del found for himself today. This guy really didn't know how to choose the right timing or differentiate for severity. He sounded strong in the phone, but he might keel over the next second. This was why Chen Zhao didn't wait and just hurried to Del's manor. When he got to the entrance, he found Del standing there. He looked strong and not like he'd almost gotten himself killed. "Did something happen to Tsura?" Chen Zhao asked tentatively. "No, she's okay." "Then where is she? And you were screaming for help in the phone. What happened?" "Hurry in." Before going in, Tsura ran out with messy hair and dark circles under her eyes. "I'm not playing anymore, you asshole. Del, play by yourself." "I'm done. I'm done," she yelled fanatically. "What are you two playing?" Chen Zhao looked at how frazzled Tsura looked. "Couldn't be fatal, right?" "Chen, you're here, you're finally here," Tsura complained while latching onto Chen Zhao. "Great. I thought I was going to go crazy." "What exactly is happening?" "You'll see when you come in." Tsura pulled Chen Zhao in. Before entering the mansion, he heard a cry. Chen Zhao froze. "You two have a kid." After he got in, he saw a baby girl tossed onto the sofa. Her lower body was bare. The living room was in a mess, and there was a disgusting smell. Chen Zhao immediately held his nose. What exactly happened? "Tsura and I decided to adopt a kid for fun." Chen Zhao picked up his foot to kick Del's left leg. "Adopt a kid for fun?" No. When we went to the orphanage, we thought that this baby was pitiful, so we adopted her." Del immediately changed his story. Chen Zhao scrutinized Del. When Del saw his eyes, he was scared. He suspected that Chen Zhao might kill him. "You need to be a married couple to adopt, right? Singles can't adopt." "To adopt Faith, we went and got a marriage certificate," Del said. "Tsura and I." Chen Zhao was taken aback. He didn't expect that Del would actually marry Tsura just to adopt a kid. "You two got married to adopt this kid. But I give up." "Chen, you can have the kid." "I don't want it." "You think I won't kill you?" Chen Zhao was furious. As expected, wanting this horrible couple to be responsible was delusional. "I really can't take care of her. Tsura and I haven't slept in 2 days. We can't even change her diaper." The entire living room was filled with the smell of waste. No wonder they'd broken down. "Why didn't you hire a nanny?" Chen Zhao asked, expression dark. "This asshole either thinks the applicants don't have big enough boobs or nice enough asses," Tsura complained. Chen Zhao looked at the baby called Faith. She probably hadn't had a bath in 2 days and smelled horrible. He could only pick her up, help bathe her and then change her diaper. Thankfully, Faith didn't have any diseases or injuries after being tormented by Tsura and Del these days. This was her biggest fortune. Being adopted by this couple and surviving their instincts of finding trouble was a big test for her. "Find a nanny right now. I hope you can find one before I leave. Otherwise, I'll report you for child abuse." "I already looked, but I couldn't find any." "Bullshit. Were you looking for a nanny or a beauty contestant?" Chen Zhao almost spat his water out at Del. "Call the housekeeping company right now." Finally, Del gave in. He had no choice because he and Tsura really couldn't handle Faith. They couldn't even take care of themselves, let alone an infant less than 1 year old. Half an hour later, the applicants finally arrived. Chen Zhao was stunned by the wave of beauties. Were these girls with thick makeup really here to apply for the nanny position? Del, don't tell me you called a model company. Chun Zhao stared at him, annoyed. No. I told the housekeeping company my requirements, and I'll give $100,000 each month. What? Are you crazy? Chun Zhao roared. A regular nanny that took care of kids and did the chores for 24 hours per day, and had 2 days off per week would only earn $3,000 to $5,000 per month. Del's $100,000 was enough to hire 20 nannies. This wasn't a regular expense. This was a complete waste of money. Chun Zhao walked to the girls. None of you are qualified. You can all leave now. The beautiful girls all left while cursing. Del had a face of resentment. Chun, you told me to look for a nanny and now you drove them away. I thought a few were quite good. Not good at all, Chun Zhao said, expression dark. If you spend the $100,000 to host a party for beautiful girls, I don't care. But you spend $1,000 to buy a pretty hamburger. But who will take care of the baby, now that you chased them away? Wait, I'll call someone. Chun Zhao called Bant. Bant, Mary's a maid now, right? Yes. How much does she make per month? She works by the hour and makes around $2,000 per month. I have a friend who needs a nanny to take care of their kid. It'll take a lot of time, but the pay is quite high. Can Mary do it? What's the pay? Bant asked immediately. Chun Zhao turned to Del. What's the pay? $5,000, as long as she can take care of the kid. $5,000, Chun Zhao said. They're a young couple and like fooling around. They can't take care of kids. Okay, I'll tell Mary. Can you hold the position for her? Can you have Mary come over right now? It's urgent. Okay, I'll call her now. Give me the address. A while later, Mary came over. She hugged Chun Zhao, saying, Chun, thank you. Let me introduce you to Del and Sura. And this is Faith. Your task is to take care of her. As for those two, call me if they're about to die. Hello, Mary. I'm glad you could come. Sura hugged Mary as well. Del found that Mary was easy on the eyes despite being older, so he didn't say anything. Chapter 201. A Killer Whale's Diet. If it was just the irresponsible couple Del and Sura, Chun Zhao would not really care. However, they had a kid now. Even if they did not bother about their own lives, they should at least think about the kid. Next, Chun Zhao went to conduct the delightful task of torturing another person, that is, the slimming session. Mr. Doman, I apologize for not showing up yesterday without telling you. I promise it won't happen again. Mr. Chun, I know what happened. You don't need to feel sorry. Oh, do you know already? Yes, Mr. Rasva and I are good friends. I'm happy that you and Manny returned safely. Chun Zhao smiled. Actually, before Mr. Doman asked him to help his daughter lose weight, Mr. Doman must have checked his background. Is Norman's ready for today? Haha. She's never ready, Mr. Doman laughed. I'll leave everything to you. When Chun Zhao pushed Norman's door open, she was lying on the floor like a dead fish. Is this your way of welcoming me? Asshole. Eat this. Then we'll start the session today. Normans took the apple and wolfed it down. Then she stood up lazily. Knowing that she could not resist Chun Zhao, she could only listen to his instructions. Where are we going? Normans realized that Chun Zhao had brought her out of the manor, although she did not say that she wanted to train outside. She had an ominous feeling about it. I'll bring you to a fun place, Chun Zhao answered with a bright smile. Normans clearly did not believe that Chun Zhao would bring her out to play. Isn't this Mr. Rasva's manor? Why are we here? Chun, how can I help you? Paul was surprised by their arrival. I've told Rasva that I'm bringing someone here today. We'll be using his beach for a while, Chun Zhao said. Of course, Paul nodded. Chun Zhao was a frequent guest here, so he did not need to do much. Do you need me to bring you there? No, I know the way. Normans followed Chun Zhao to the beach. Do you want me to run here? Or maybe swim in the sea? Here, your swimsuit. When did you keep it? You pervert. Chun Zhao rolled his eyes. Before you call me a pervert, you better look at yourself. Normans gritted her teeth at Chun Zhao's merciless humiliation. Even though she was already used to Chen Zhao's mocking, she still could not stop being angry. After Norman's change to her swimsuit, Chen Zhao snapped his fingers. Into the sea. Norman's could not remember what was the last time she played in the sea. Seawater was denser than pure water, so it was easier to swim in the sea. Nevertheless, the raging waves in the sea could easily cause accidents. Soon, Norman's realized that she was already in the deepwater zone. She was about to return to the shore when she saw a black shadow approach her in the sea. Moreover, it was on her return path. Shocked out of her wits, she swam towards the deeper part of the sea at once. Ah, there's something underwater. Asshole, come and save me. However, Chen Zhao continued to float along the currents, unhurried. Norman's turned her head and saw the huge thing again, as well as its dorsal fin. Killer whale. Norman's head went blank. Killer whales were true killers. Nothing in the sea could beat them. The prey they targeted was dead for sure. Swim fast. Do you want to die? Chen Zhao urged. You asshole. This is murder. You knew that there's a killer whale here and you still asked me to come. Swim faster. A killer whale's favorite food is seal, because they contain large amounts of fats in their bodies, just like you. Killer whales are very sensitive to the smell of fats. Asshole, asshole, asshole. Terrestrial creatures would never be able to outswim marine creatures. This was the result of billions of years of evolution. The distance swum by Norman's in a minute with all her strength could be covered by a killer whale by simply waving its tail. Master, I'm so tired. Can I rest for today? Listening to Amon's message, Chen Zhao's face darkened. Both of you just go and fucking die. If you dare to stop, I'll make you die of exhaustion. Tired. 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 I wanna die. Finally, Norman's also stopped. Just let me die here. Norman's turned around and saw Chen Zhao standing on the surface of the sea. You what? Then she discovered the killer whale Chen Zhao was standing on. It. Forgot to introduce to you. He's Amon. Did you tame him? That depends on your definition of tame. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Norman's roared, slapping the surface of the sea furiously. Just now she really thought she was about to be eaten. You swam too fast. I couldn't find a chance to tell you. Bullshit. You even told me a killer whale's diet. Did I? Can't remember. It's deliberate. You did it on purpose, you bastard. Asshole. Relax. Do you want to come up? After Norman's calmed down, she was still rather scared. Are you sure that he won't eat me? Definitely not. Don't worry. Can I really go up? Come. Chen Zhao pulled Norman's up to Amon's back, after which he patted Amon. Amon, let's go. Norman's felt somewhat uneasy. Amon brought her and Chen Zhao further and further away from the coastline. Finally, Amon stopped. From their position, they could no longer see the coastline. The entire Beverly Hills had been reduced to a mere outline. Why did we stop here? Just then, Amon dived into the sea. Norman's fell into the water again. Where's Amon? He went to the toilet. It's urgent. Norman's looked at Chen Zhao with her face darkening. Are you going to ask me to swim back? Or you can wait for Amon to finish and bring you back. When I return to the shore, I'll kill you. I'll definitely fucking kill you. Norman started to swim. She had no other choices. In the sea, staying afloat at the same spot was even more tiring than swimming. Chen Zhao slowly followed behind Norman's. While Norman's was already exhausted, she actually still had the energy to speak. The entire journey was filled with her incessant cursing. However, Chen Zhao was long immune to Norman's cussing. Instead, he kept provoking her further. Faster, faster. We can't make it in time for dinner. Do you still want dinner? I don't think so. When Norman stood on land again, she almost cried out in excitement. Nevertheless, there was a more pressing issue to settle. Norman's leaped at Chen Zhao and pressed him into the water. Chapter 202. Coincidental Meeting with Vincent. After throwing a tantrum, Norman's lay onto the sofa to rest. Chen Zhao massaged his face. Next time you use your nails, I'll toss you to Hawaii and you can swim back. I'll use a knife next time. Where will you hide your knife? In your saggy meat? After these days of hard work, Norman's had lost a lot of fat. Her skin was now loose and saggy. When she was done with the weight loss plan, she would definitely need plastic surgery. Get up and put the shirt on. We'll run back. Norman's put on the shirt and started running behind Chan Zhao. Hey asshole. What do I have to do to get skinny faster? Oh. Chan Zhao turned around to look at her. Are you sure? Yeah, I want to hurry up. I don't want to keep getting tortured by you pervert. Then I'll change the schedule starting tomorrow. No, today. Are you sure? I'm sure. The two most effective ways to lose weight is just dieting and exercise. The food should be nutritious with low carbs. Exercise should be consistent. Then I won't eat and I'll increase the exercise. No, you still have to eat. If you exercise without replenishing sugar, it'll lead to low blood sugar. That's why I have you eat an apple before starting. When you exercise, you truly start to burn fat after around 30 minutes. You first start to burn glucose, which moves fat. Without glucose, you won't even be able to move. What did you add in the water you gave me yesterday? Sugar. Enough sugar can speed up the burning of fat and act as a stimulant. Only sugar. What do you think? You better not give me any drugs. Otherwise, I'll make life unbearable for you in LA. How old are you? You still like playing make-pretend? Chan Zhao rolled his eyes. This was Norman's first time requesting to add more exercise. It was a big improvement. This also lessened Chan Zhao's workload. Norman suspected that Chan Zhao put something in her water. It was actually a tiny bit of a strength potion. It was a very small amount, but it could make Norman stronger. It also used up more energy though. It was like how Chan Zhao and David now ate 2 or 3 times more than regular people. Norman's couldn't eat that much though, so she had to digest herself and turn fat into energy. Chan Zhao always had Norman's do aerobic exercise. Jogging and swimming were the most common aerobic sports. Non-aerobic exercise was mostly used for building muscle, which Norman's didn't need. It could also cause muscle fatigue and produce more lactic acid. This wasn't suitable for Norman's to continue exercising, so aerobic sports were the best for her. After returning to the manor, Norman's weighed herself. She was now 258 pounds, more than 20 pounds lighter than yesterday. Even Norman's was shocked at this weight loss speed. Thinking a bit, she started running around Carrie's lawn. She kept running even without Chan Zhao beside her. Doman was surprised at his daughter's changes in both mind and body. She was like a new person each day. Doman kind of regretted not calling Chan Zhao earlier. Oh. A taxi stopped before Chan Zhao and a familiar guy poked his head out. Hi Chun. Vincent. How come you're still driving taxis? I do it occasionally. Vincent smiled brightly. Going home. Chan Zhao got in the car. How's everything? How's being an actor? Because of Mr. Steven's recommendation, I acted in 4 movies and 1 TV show. They haven't aired yet though. The TV show is Deep Sea. It's airing next week on BBC. I'm a scientist in there. Chun, remember to tune in. Sure. Chan Zhao nodded with a smile. With Vincent's current status, he probably could only have roles that lived for 2 episodes. It wasn't that Chan Zhao looked down on Vincent. It was just the reality of the film and TV industry. Do you have a management company now? Not yet. You should find one as soon as possible. That way you can get even better resources. I want to, but no company wants me. Chan Zhao thought for a moment. If you don't mind, I can help you ask, but I can't promise anything. Chun, you even know people from management companies? One of my patients. Vincent brought Chan Zhao to his house and didn't take his money. When Chan Zhao went in, he saw that Fei Lai had already cooked dinner as if she was a good wife. Fei Lai kissed Chan Zhao lightly. Wash your hands. Eat dinner. They were both used to sitting on the couch or ground in the living room to eat. It was the same even when David and the others were here. Fei Lai, I need to tell you something. What? Don't tell me you cheated on our first day. Oh please. I wanted to tell you that I bought the land around Mirror Lake. You really bought it? Yes. How much? $400,000. I already paid a $100,000 deposit. So you plan on settling down here? Yeah, I plan on building a house next to Mirror Lake. A big house so White Ma and Black Ma can run freely and play in the water. Oh, Robio studies architecture. You can have him help design. Chun Zhao's eyes brightened. If that was the case, he could save on the design cost. He was counting his pennies now because he really didn't have much cash left. He had $200,000 at most. Plus, he had to pave an asphalt road before building a house. Mirror Lake was 2 kilometers from the road outside. It wasn't far, but if he wanted to build a house, the construction trucks had to go in. He would need a road if he wanted to live there too. 2 kilometers of an asphalt road along with the manpower would cost around $200,000. Asphalt was twice as expensive, but it had better plasticity. Of course, Chen Zhao would also earn more money after a while. He actually could start the construction now. It wasn't like he had to pay everything up front. He could start paving the road first, so when he started building the house, things wouldn't drag along. Since he wanted to do this, it had to be good. Chen Zhao planned on building the best house he could within his current financial abilities. Chapter 203 Reporter. Robio, can you help me with something? Chen Zhao called Robio. What? Help me to design a house. Yes. What price are you looking at? Robio asked. Within $1 million, including the workers. Robio gasped. Are you building a palace? What did it mean for the building cost of a house to be $1 million? Even the bungalow that Chen Zhao and Fei Lai were staying at would only cost tens of thousands to build. Of course, their current house was very old. The houses of most middle-class people cost about $200,000 to build. In many TV shows, luxurious houses could easily cost tens or hundreds of millions, but it was only because they had the best locations and facilities. Sometimes, a golf course alone would cost more than $10 million. The house itself in fact cost far less than tens of $1 million. Therefore, a house that cost $1 million to build was truly deluxe. Oh, how much does it cost to build a palace? Robio kind of disliked rich people like Chen Zhao, especially when he had earned so much after just half a year in America. Anyway, Robio was Chen Zhao's friend and also owed him a favor, so he could not reject Chen Zhao's request. When are you free? Bring me to the place. I need to take some photos before being able to design the house. Architecture is much more complicated than merely drawing a diagram on a sheet. The basics include mechanics and material science. In addition, the environment has to be a foil to the building. In particular, villas and manors need ingenious designs. An architect without sufficient imagination is not a good architect. After making an appointment with Robio, Chen Zhao hung up. However, he immediately received a call from Dell. Chen, do you know Rufford? The winner of the Elite League this year. He ran 9.7 seconds for 3 consecutive 100m sprints. How do you know that I know him? Chen Zhao was puzzled. It's everywhere on the media, including photos of you entering Rufford's apartment. Even your identity as an illegal doctor has been exposed. What? Chen Zhao was flabbergasted. He did not know about it at all. Rufford has no agency or agent now, right? Dell asked something else. Why? Can you help me to make an appointment between Rufford and my company? Your company? Aren't you just one of the shareholders of CAA? Also, you don't really manage your company, am I right? It's not that I don't want to manage my company, but rather I don't have sufficient power. If I can get Rufford, my influence in CAA will increase significantly. I can help you to make an appointment with Rufford, but you need to help me too. What? I know a new actor. He's played some small roles in several films, but he has no agency too. Help me to attach him to your company. What's his name? Vincent. A TV series called Deep Sea is about to be shown on BBC. He's the scientist inside. Alright, I'll pay attention to him. As long as he's suitable, I can sign him under my company. Do you have his number? I'll give it to you. Oh. When Chen Zhao returned to his house, he heard Fei Lai making a call. Dad, I need money, 200,000. Can you lend me? Yes. I know. Okay. Chen Zhao opened the room door and Fei Lai immediately hung up. Chun. Fei Lai, you were borrowing money from your family? Chen, you're building a new house, our home. I want to make some contributions too. Fei Lai, I have enough money, except that I have yet to receive it. You don't need to borrow from your family. Chun. Believe me, will you? But my dad has already agreed. Then call him again. Chun Zhao felt that as a man he should contribute more. It was only the first day that Fei Lai and he were officially dating, and Fei Lai was already borrowing money from her family. Chun Zhao thought it was a blow to his self-esteem. He hoped that he could build a house with his own hard work and ability, not with the help of his girlfriend. In that case, they might as well stay at the current place. Regardless of how much we each pay, it'll still our new home together. All right, Chun. That night, Fei Lai seemed to be exceptionally passionate. Her endurance had also increased decently. After a tiring workout, the two slept in each other's arms. The next morning, Chun Zhao went to Ethan's motel directly. Because of what Fei Lai had done the previous day, Chun Zhao was even more eager to make money. Caprice? What a surprise to see you here so early. Chun Zhao was clearly surprised by Caprice's presence. Caprice looked rather energetic and casual. Chun, I came here to thank you. Chun Zhao grabbed the burgers from the counter and started eating. For what? I went to see Philip Quinn just now. From afar, I could already hear his hysterical screams. Caprice looked rejuvenated, as if she had just slept with 10 strong men the previous night. Chun, half of his body seems to be rotting away. How did you do it? I didn't do it. It must be God's will. Fine. I won't ask anymore. Caprice smiled. Just then, Ethan walked out from the inside and glanced at Caprice. Why are you still here? The last time they met each other they had the same enemy. However, once it was over, they became completely hostile towards each other again. Chun, work with me. I know more people and can offer you more clients. Caprice tried to steal Chun Zhao away right before Ethan. You mean those people from the prison? You sure they won't cut Chun into slices? This former couple started arguing again. Chun Zhao admired the humiliations and curses from the two as he enjoyed his free breakfast. The cuss words they used were always new, innovative, and never repeating. Even their son, Robio, became the weapon they used to attack each other. The innocent Robio was involved for no reason. Chun Zhao wondered how Robio would feel if he knew what was happening. Looks like there's nothing for me here. I'm going to the fitness center. After listening to the duo performance for an hour, Chun Zhao already felt rather bored. However, the moment he left the motel, he saw a woman walk towards him. Hi, Mr. Chun, can I interview you, please? Are you a reporter? I'm a reporter for the Los Angeles Times. Sorry, I'm busy. Chun Zhao turned around and flagged a cab. However, he realized that the reporter was still following him in her car. Chapter 204 Boxing Class. When Chun Zhao reached the gym, that reporter appeared before him again. Mr. Chun, you're an illegal doctor, right? Did you give Rufford illegal drugs? His improvement is shocking. Does this have anything to do with the medicine you gave him? In this country, reporters were the true kings. They could twist any sentence to fit their goal. Who told you I'm a doctor? I'm not. If Chun Zhao admitted that he was a doctor, the public health department wouldn't be the first to find him. It would be the IRS. How scary is the American IRS? There was a rumor that the IRS got their eyes on a drug lord for tax evasion. When he finally got arrested, it was because the IRS found evidence while even the FBI couldn't. One could imagine how frightening the IRS was. Mr. Chun, Mr. Rufford admitted it himself. Admit what? I know Rufford, but that doesn't mean I gave him treatment. Mr. Chun, are you doing this to hide the fact that you gave Mr. Rufford steroids? If Rufford used steroids, the IAAF and anti-doping organization can come for me. If you have evidence, please take it out. Otherwise, wait for my lawyer's message. A lawyer's message didn't actually have any legal effect. It was basically just a threat to attack if the other kept going. Kate gritted her teeth at Chun Zhao. This Chinese man was more troublesome than she'd expected. His answers were seamless. Mr. Chun, if you're worried about your identity being exposed, I can ensure to keep your identity hidden. What identity? I'm just a Chinese man working in America on a green card. If you keep making harmful guesses, I'll report you for harassment, defamation, and racism. When did I act racist? Anybody would be in trouble if they were found to be racist. Even the godly reporters didn't dare to touch that line. If she was sued for this crime, she would lose her job even if she wasn't found guilty. Chen Zhao was just showing off. If Kate wanted to make his life hard, he would do the same. I just feel like you're being racist, Chen Zhao said matter-of-factly. Racism was a true problem, but some minorities also felt that any offenses toward them was racism. Kate stared at Chen Zhao's back and clenched her fists. Chen Zhao entered the gym. He waved to all the people he was familiar with. He was well known here too. After all, not many dared to have Gaia be their coach. Gaia was currently teaching a student in the ring. That student was 6 feet tall like Chen Zhao. His weight was similar too. However, he was much weaker. Gaia held up a pad with one hand and didn't even budge when the student's fist hit it. If it was Chen Zhao, Gaia would need to hold the pad with both hands. Harder, harder. Too weak, Anderson. Did you eat breakfast? Or did you use all your energy on girls? Gaia pushed the student's fists away with the pad. The student took 2 unsteady steps back. Okay, Anderson. Go take a rest. Gaia patted his shoulders. Chun, put on your gear and come practice. When Gaia and Chen Zhao practiced, Chen Zhao was the defense. He took the pad and put on protective gear. Up, down, left, right, left, up. Gaia would tell Chen Zhao where she was attacking before she did so. Then Chen Zhao would do the appropriate defense. After 15 minutes of training, they were both sweating. Anderson offered them water and patted Chen Zhao's arm. Chen, how come we have similar build but our strength and speed are so different? He wanted to learn Chen Zhao's ways. Maybe it's because I exercise often, Chen Zhao said. I'm a coach too. So maybe I'm more familiar with how to make myself stronger. Similar build didn't mean that they had the same power. There was still the problem of fat ratio. A regular person had around 10% to 12% body fat. Athletes had around 5%, while the top athletes could reach 3 or 4%. The lower the fat, the stronger the bursts of movement. According to biology, fat was for preserving energy. This way, the animal wouldn't die of starvation from lack of food. On the other hand, muscle represented an animal's status in the food chain. The stronger and faster they were, the more advantageous they were. When civilizations appeared and society turned from hunter-gatherers to agrarian cultures, fat no longer had a survival advantage. Instead, it got in the way of labor. However, thousands of years later, the human body still hadn't become completely removed from the primitive state. Being overly strong could actually shorten the lifespan. For example, many athletes were talented, but the talent was only for unleashing potential. Throughout their career, they could become faster and stronger, but after their golden age, their bodies would deteriorate quickly. The injuries and ailments accumulated throughout their career would start attacking their bodies. Anderson and Chen Zhao chatted for a while. Chen Zhao learned that Anderson was an amateur hobbyist. His goal seemed to be to join an official competition, but his potential was as Anderson, go against Chen and feel his power, Gaia said. They both put on protective gear and Anderson felt the entirety of Chen Zhao's heavy fist. Even though Chen Zhao had held back, he was still forced back each time. Anderson, Chen switch. Anderson attack, Chen defend. The two switched positions. Anderson's feeling changed again. Rather than fighting against a human, it was like he was facing an unmoving wall. Gaia was both of their coaches, so she obviously knew their differences. Chen Zhao's fitness was too amazing. Even Gaia might not be able to win against him for pure strength, let alone someone average like Anderson. Getting off the ring, the three rested and drank water at the window. Gaia, Anderson said. How can I become like Chen Zhao? Gaia glanced at Chen Zhao. In terms of fitness, there's barely any way of surpassing Chen. You can only go from technique. Is there any way of improving in technique? Keep practicing, Gaia said. There's no cheating method. Even geniuses have to keep working hard. You're not a genius, so if you want to become a professional fighter, you have to work even harder. My suggestion is that you find a professional boxing coach. Chapter 205. Norman's down and out. Let's go and have lunch together. After changing to their own clothes, Chan Zhao and Anderson walked out of the fitness center together. I can't. I still have to go and fetch my son. All right. See you. Eating alone was the most boring thing ever. Chan Zhao called Fei Lai and they had a romantic chat. Then he went to buy a few burgers. Because Norman's wanted more exercise, Chan Zhao had to go there earlier. Today, Norman's was actually already in her sportswear, but she also had a jacket outside. The slimming sessions over the last few days had consumed much of her fats. As a result, the skin on her belly looked extremely shriveled. It would be very ugly to leave it exposed, so she had to hide it. Today's exercise is cycling. We'll go along the road by the sea, and then come back. The whole journey should take 5 hours, Chan Zhao said. Eat this apple first. When the two cycled out of the manor, Chan Zhao received a call. Chan, business for you. It was Ethan. I'm at Mr. Doman's place. I'm busy. Big client. How big? 30,000. Chan Zhao raised his eyebrows. Turning his head, he said, Norman's were changing the route. Asshole. Norman's had heard everything. Given that the client could pay $30,000, he or she was certainly quite wealthy. Chan Zhao stopped before a magnificent villa and rang the doorbell. The door opened slightly. Chan Zhao could tell from the gap through the door that it was a very beautiful lady. The lady saw an Asian, a fat woman, and a dog outside her door. Who are you? I'm the doctor from Ethan. Then how about her? She's my assistant. Bullshit. When did I become your assistant? Norman's did not cooperate with Chan Zhao at all. It's her first day of work. She's not used to it yet, Chan Zhao said with a smile. Selena? You're Selena Gofi? Suddenly, Norman's recognized the lady before her. Chan Zhao was clearly stunned. Do you know each other? Norman's. Selena looked at the incredibly inflated woman before her, uncertain. Selena did not know what Norman's looked like a few days ago. If she did, she would be surprised at why Norman's was so thin instead. Why are you? Selena and Norman's were from the same college. She knew how wealthy Norman's family was. But why would the previously white, rich, and beautiful girl become so fat? And she's now an assistant for an illegal doctor. Is her family bankrupt? A smile appeared on Selena's face. The golden phoenix had fallen, but she had become famous. Such an enormous twist in their lives made Selena excited for some reason. Come in. Selena opened the door, displaying her luxurious house before the two. Don't walk around unnecessarily. My house is big and has many valuable items. If anything goes missing, I'll call the police. Norman's and Chan Zhao rolled their eyes at the same time. Glancing at Selena, Chan Zhao asked Norman softly, who's she? A small star in Hollywood. Acted in 2 movies before and only half famous, but compared to most women in Hollywood, she's already considered successful. Chan Zhao nodded and more or less understood what was going on. Miss Selena, where's my patient? Selena brought Chan Zhao and Norman's to a room and pushed the door open. Chan Zhao saw a maid covered in blood. It seemed like she had been bitten by some kind of beast in the abdomen. Frowning, Chan Zhao walked up to check the maid's injury. The maid was indeed gravely injured and had signs of shock. What was she bitten by? Chan Zhao inspected the wound on the maid's abdomen. The flesh on her wound had almost been torn away completely. Apart from treating the maid, Chan Zhao had to confirm what she had been bitten by, as well as whether the animal carried any bacteria or infections. Many wild animals carried a multitude of pathogens because of their habits or environment. Once they bit someone, the person might develop many complications or syndromes. Inflammation was the weakest of them. The problem would be much more severe if there was a viral infection. Do you have ice? Yes, I'll go and take it. Selena took some ice cubes. Chan Zhao wrapped them with a piece of cloth and placed it on the maid's forehead. Then, he started cleaning the maid's wound. Meanwhile, he turned his head and looked at Selena. So what bit her? Selena remained silent, unwilling to talk about it. Chan Zhao looked at Selena again. Your maid will probably die. I suggest sending her to the hospital. Her body temperature is abnormally high. Maybe it's because the animal that bit her has some disease and transmitted it to her. No, you can't send her to the hospital, Selena rejected at once. If the media finds out that my pet has caused my maid to be injured, I'll be defamed by them. Selena was rather selfish. Of course, most people were like this. Anyway, because her maid was bitten by her own pet, she could not run away from the responsibility. Chen Zhao recalled the woman called Daly Simpson. She and her adopted daughter had been in a similar situation. Nevertheless, her daughter had injured herself, so it was not really Daly's fault. Selena's case was different. Her pet had bitten someone and hence, she was legally responsible. Now either show me the pet that bit her and let me check if your pet has any diseases, or I'll send your maid to the hospital, Chen Zhao said. I can give you more money. Don't tell anyone about it. Chen Zhao glanced at the Selena. He indeed needed money, but if he kept this a secret, the maid would probably die, unless he could confirm that she had no viral infections. Wowder's in the backyard, Selena finally said very reluctantly. Normans followed Chen Zhao to the backyard. They saw a near-adult wolf which was apparently over 40 kilograms in weight. He was fairly large. Chen Zhao took a step forward. The wolf called Wowder stood near a corner, looking rather scared. Standing behind them, Selena reminded, Wowder doesn't like strangers. Chen Zhao looked at Wowder and waved his hand gently. Wowder stared hesitantly at Chen Zhao, after which he carefully walked towards Chen Zhao. Normans was surprised. She knew that Chen Zhao had a high affinity for pets, but it was the first time she saw it at work. He was able to get close to a wolf the first time they met. Selena was rather amazed too. Usually nobody would dare to go close to Wowder like this. As a result, Wowder had become somewhat aloof. He was very fierce towards anyone but her. However, Chen Zhao managed to easily friend Wowder. Chapter 206. Reporter's Imagination. It wasn't hard to determine whether a canine had rabies. The symptoms were pretty obvious, so after Chen Zhao was mostly sure after contact that Wowder didn't have rabies. Wowder might have bitten the maid because she did something unfriendly. Wolves and dogs didn't actually have that big of a difference, but humans instinctively feared wolves. Wowder felt this fear and distrust. It hadn't interacted with the outside world yet, so it didn't know how to act with others and felt lonely. Of course, for safety precautions, Chen Zhao still extracted some of Wowder's saliva to test. Just then, Norman suddenly said, Selena, how about you sell me Wowder? Can you afford it? Selena looked at her arrogantly. $10,000. You think that's enough for me? 20,000 30,000. Normans kept raising the price. Still not satisfied? 50,000 is my last price. She narrowed her eyes. If you don't agree, I'll make sure you can't survive in Hollywood. Selena furrowed her brows at Normans. Your family didn't go bankrupt. Asshole, you tell her, Norman said, pointing at Chen Zhao. She's my temporary assistant. Most of the time I'm her coach. Weight loss coach. Selena's expression turned awkward. She realized that her previous words had offended Norman's. Norman's family wasn't a simple wealthy family. If she really wanted to make Selena's life hard, she'd be unable to do anything other than being a porn star in San Fernando Valley. With Norman's family's abilities, they could definitely force her there. Do you promise you'll treat Wowder well? I don't need to promise you anything. What right do you have to demand anything? Norman's was like an aggressive diva now. Americans were materialistic. Rich people could do anything here, but Selena wasn't rich at all. Even this house was a rental. She wasn't indispensable in Hollywood either. Countless girls would come to Hollywood with their dreams every day. Selena could be replaced at any time. Her current success was fragile too. People merely remembered the role that she played. This role could be played by any girl. It was the role that gave life to her, rather than the other way around. Norman's one word could shatter Selena's success. Norman successfully received ownership of Wowder, but why do I have to carry your pet? And why are you riding while I'm running? I want you to train it for me. Make it as smart as White Ma and Black Ma or like a Mon. I don't want my family to get hurt by it. I'm your weight loss coach, not your family's pet trainer. 100,000. You can afford that. No, but my dad can. Chun Zhao was troubled. He really wanted to yell at Normans that he didn't want to serve her anymore, but he needed money more. Between going against his motives and money, he chose to go against his motives in the end. Plus, it wasn't really going against his motives. Making money was his motive after all. How long do you need to train it? Not sure. Keep it at my house first. Do you need money really badly? Norman suddenly asked. Why are you asking me that? You want to insult me with your money? I'm not that bored. No, I actually don't mind if you insult me with your money, Chun Zhao said shamelessly. Wouter was very friendly with Chun Zhao, probably because he had Black Ma and White Ma's scent on him. Wolves couldn't use dog leashes, but it hadn't been trained yet, so Chun Zhao didn't dare place it on the ground. If it started running, he might not be able to catch it. If it hurt someone, it would be even more troublesome. Because of today's accident, Norman's training intensity was lower than a few days ago. However, Chun Zhao still planned some exercises for her. If she was determined, she would train by herself even if he wasn't with her. When Chun Zhao walked out of Beverly Hills, a police car cruised by. It stopped in front of him. Chun, where you going? David poked his head out. Home. You want to bring me back? Sorry, I have to go meet an informer. David noticed Wouter in Chun Zhao's arms. You have another new pet. It's not mine. I'm helping take care of it. I have to return it in a few days. Chun Zhao patted Wouter's head. Wouter obviously liked it and made happy rumbles. Go work. How about you get in and I drive you back after work? Are you sure? Didn't you say you're meeting an informer? Would it be bad if I go? No, it's not some mafia mole. It's just someone who provided information for a case. Okay, let's go. Oh. Neither of them discovered the car following them. Kate followed the police car closely while talking to a recording pen. It is 3:55 p.m. The target has gotten onto a police car. He seems to be connected to the police. This might explain why the target hasn't been subject to legal sanctions after being an illegal doctor for so long. 4:15 p.m. They got off at a hairy bank. They seemed to be meeting with someone. Kate sat in the car and filmed with a high-definition camera. 4:20 they entered the bank. Kate also followed them inside, hiding the camera in her jacket. She held the recording pen in her other hand, constantly describing the situation. That person must be a bank employee. He walked into his own office and took out a roll of film. Are they undergoing some unspeakable exchange? Perhaps the Justice Department should investigate the police for corrupt officers. Just then, an incident occurred. A string of gunshots came from the hall. Four masked robbers charged into the bank. Kate felt someone yank her neck back. Heavy breaths sounded in her ears. Something pressed against her temple. I'm held captive? Kate's mind was completely blank. The bank security guard fell into a puddle of blood right before her. This evil group was robbing the bank. Chapter 207 David's Heroic Rescue. Chun Zhao was somewhat unhappy, because he had been held as a hostage too. More importantly, he was carrying Wouter in his arms. He did not whether he should let Wouter go at the moment. Kid, don't move, or I'll make a hole in your head. Actually, Chun Zhao would not dare to move even without the robber's reminder. Even though it was not the first time someone pointed a gun at his head already, it still felt terrifying. Courage was entirely meaningless in such a situation. It did not matter whether Chun Zhao had superb fighting tactics. Maybe Gaia could resolve the danger, but Chun Zhao could not. He was simply not strong enough. David had been treated as an ordinary bank customer and forced to stay with the other customers. He was not wearing his police uniform, so the robbers had no idea that he was a cop. The robbers who were holding Chun Zhao and Kate captive stood before the other customers. David kept peeking around. There were 5 robbers in total. He did not attack immediately. It was not difficult to kill the robber threatening Chun Zhao, but there was no way he could kill all of them at once. 3 of the robbers were holding hostages, namely Chun Zhao, Kate, and the lobby manager. The manager was forced to open the vault. After the vault was opened, A gunshot was heard from the inside. Soon, 3 robbers came out with 3 bags of money, but the lobby manager was nowhere to be seen. It was not hard to imagine what had happened to him. Suddenly, Chun Zhao saw David make a hand signal at him. Chun Zhao's face was filled with question marks. What do you mean? He tried to communicate with David using his eyes. What are you saying? However, David seemed to have misunderstood something. He secretly made a hand gesture. Okay, what? David, what do you want to do? David moved. He suddenly pounced towards the robber holding Kate. Kate was still in shock. She just heard a crack beside her and then felt someone pull her away. David tweaked the robber's arm upwards, breaking his arm directly. Then he pulled Kate behind him. At the same time, the robber who had been holding Chun Zhao pointed his gun at David. Chun Zhao had to do something. He extended his hand and lifted the robber's gun-holding arm. Bang! The robber missed the shot. Chun Zhao threw the robber over his shoulder, and then gave him a heavy kick. When the 3 robbers carrying the money saw their fellows under attack, none came to help. Instead, they charged out through the door. Bang bang! David fired his gun twice. One of the robbers collapsed onto the ground, but the other 2 had already escaped from the bank. He wanted to chase the last 2 robbers, but Kate held onto his body tightly like an octopus. Miss, are you all right? David asked. Kate remained in David's arms like an obedient little bird. She did not speak and kept her head lowered. Miss, can you stand by yourself? My legs feel soft, Kate said gently. Chun Zhao walked up and pulled Kate's head away from David. Why is it you? Do you know each other? She's a reporter. She accused me. Wait, Mr. Chun, that's only my job. Don't target me like this. Kate interrupted Chun Zhao. Mr. Police, I can't breathe. Chen, you're a doctor. Come and see what's happened to this lady. I'm not a doctor. Also, her condition is incurable. Miss, do you have a terminal illness? Estrus. Chun Zhao twitched his lips. Soon the police came. They were all David's colleagues. After getting questioned by the police, Kate approached David carefully. David, can I interview you please? Here. I'm busy now. I can wait for you. Kate's cheeks flushed and she did not even dare to look at David in his eyes. David, I'm going home first. Chun Zhao had finished the interview. He glanced at Kate and David, not wanting to interfere with their business. Kate clearly liked David. Chun Zhao did not want to be the bad guy. Let me send you back. Don't you have an interview later? I don't really want to. David was rather slow and actually could not see Kate's intention. Chun Zhao glanced at Kate. Actually, she was quite pretty. Normally, whenever David saw a beautiful lady, he would act like a mad dog, although it would often fail. Now a lady was chasing him herself, and yet he did not realize it. I can interview you on your car. Kate stared at David, her eyes glittering brightly. Tomorrow the entire Los Angeles will know your heroic deed. Her look was filled with admiration. Chun Zhao had not even seen such a look on Fei Lai's face. Oh! Chun Zhao sat on the back seat, while Kate sat on the front passenger seat. Kate had been continuously asking David questions from his age to his birthday, whether he had a girlfriend, and whom the people in his family were. She asked whatever she could. After David sent Chun Zhao to his house, he drove away with Kate. Kate, can I call you like this? Of course. Kate, what happened between you and Chun? Nothing. It's just a misunderstanding during work. Chen's my best friend. David was not stupid. He was just concerned about Chun Zhao's feelings. Alright, I get it. I promise I won't have another conflict with him again. David, let's date? You sure there won't be another misunderstanding? I can do anything for you. Your friend is my friend. Kate had always been a very rational person. She did not believe in love at first sight. However, the instant David saved her, she fell in love with him. Even when she looked at David, her eyes were only filled with wonder. The more rational a person was, the crazier she would get when she fell in love. Oh! Fei Lai realized that Chun Zhao had brought another wolf back. Although Wouter was already an adult wolf, he was much smaller than Black Ma and White Ma. Indeed, he was only half their size. When Black Ma and White Ma appeared before Wouter, he curled up in fear. Even Walter was 1.5 times as big as Wouter. Walter was really a giant dog at the moment. Moreover, he was still growing. With the current rate, he would probably at some point be bigger than Black Ma and White Ma. Apart from Black Ma, White Ma and Walter, Beelzebub, Carrie, Abitos and Raymond were all putting Wouter under much stress. In addition to the difference in their sizes, Chun Zhao's pets also had a special demonic smell. Wouter felt as though he was a lamb which had fallen into a wolf den. Is this your new pet again? Not mine. It's my friend's. I'm helping to look after him for a few days. Fei Lai was about to reach out to Wouter when Chun Zhao stopped her. He hasn't been domesticated yet. Also, he's only an ordinary wolf, unlike Black Ma and White Ma, so try not to touch him. Chapter 208. Intelligence Potion. At night, Chun Zhao gave Fei Lai the Banshee's charm so she could sleep peacefully. Then he took Wouter to the basement and entered Blackie's den. Chun Zhao had to create an intelligence potion for Wouter. It couldn't turn idiots into geniuses, but it could help make idiots less idiotic. It was mainly used on wild animals. However, in order to do so, he needed intelligence fruits. These fruits were only available in hell, so Chun Zhao had to summon the evil traitor Raz. When Raz was summoned before Chun Zhao, he seemed more terrified than last time. Raz. Chun Zhao looked at him. Living Lord. Raz knelt down and bowed submissively. He was afraid that Chun Zhao still held a grudge and would kill him. After all, there was no one kind beside Chun Zhao right now. To demons, they would never give up once a conflict was born. Of course, Chun Zhao wasn't that petty. At least Raz was still useful. I'm not going to mess with you. I want to trade. Don't be so scared. Chun Zhao smiled brightly. Living Lord, tell me whatever you need. Your lowly servant is willing to give you everything. Only an idiot would believe that a demon was willing to give up everything, especially a demon that was a true profiteer. Plus, Chun Zhao didn't want to end the business. A trade had to have ins and outs. If he only gained without giving, that was robbery. What's the price of an intelligence fruit? 1 soul. Raz instinctively wanted to set a high price, but he quickly remembered that Chun Zhao wasn't like before. He had other channels and he wasn't completely clueless about the prices. Plus, Chun Zhao still had Raz's demonic ritual implement. If Chun Zhao learned that he'd been scammed again, Raz would be dead. He was just a low-level demon trying to make a living in Beelzebub's territory, while Chun Zhao was Beelzebub's master. He was also Great Lord Beelzebub Sophie's esteemed guest. If Raz offended Chun Zhao again, he really would have no way of surviving. Chun Zhao looked at him. I don't have any souls right now. I'll pay you back later. Give me 10 intelligence fruits. No need, no need. Just a few souls. You don't have to worry about it. After sending Raz off, Chun Zhao started concocting the intelligence potion. Since he was making it, he couldn't only make 1 serving. As Chun Zhao's one and only favorite and Fei Lai's darling, Walter had to have a serving too. Oh, Chun. In the morning, Fei Lai woke up and realized she'd overslept. Her first thought was that Chun Zhao had done something to her. Otherwise, with her biological clock, she definitely wouldn't oversleep. Every time Chun Zhao used the Banshee's charm on her, she would sleep 12 straight hours. Fei Lai grabbed Chun Zhao's arm on her and shook him awake. A Fei Lai morning. Chun Zhao rubbed his puffy eyes. Morning your ass. What did you do yesterday? Why did I sleep 12 hours again? I didn't do anything. Liar. Fei Lai glared at him. Fine, I went to save the world. It was a stupid reply, but Fei Lai still believed him. No matter what you do in the future, you can't use a spell to make me sleep. Fine. Promise. Promise. Look at my eyes and say it. I promise that whether I go out to save the world or find another woman, I'll never make you fall asleep. You asshole. We've only been dating for how many days, and you're thinking of messing around outside. I'm going to make sure you never have the energy to do that. Reality proved that it was quite hard to make Chun Zhao not have the energy to go outside. After more than an hour, Fei Lai gave up first. Aren't you going to work? Chun Zhao asked. I forgot to tell you that Robio's coming today. You didn't tell me. I have to call the gym for a day off. Otherwise, that female dragon is going to torture me. To be honest, I really want to see what kind of woman can make you so scared. Chun Zhao and Fei Lai had another round in the bathroom and wasted another half hour. Robio seemed to have calculated the right timing. He showed up when the two were mostly tidied up. Chun, Fei Lai, I didn't disturb you guys, right? Robio stood in the doorway. To be honest, if Robio wasn't gay, Chun Zhao would be worried about Fei Lai working with him. He was excellent in practically every aspect. He had a high education, was cultured, friendly, loving, liked exercising, had a tall and fit body, and was handsome. Chun Zhao couldn't think of any flaws. Robio was practically a perfect man. Robio knew early on that Fei Lai and Chun Zhao were together. When Fei Lai went to work that day, he'd suspected something and got an answer after asking. He supported them dating. To him, there were only two types of people. The first were those that felt right, like Chun Zhao and Fei Lai. They could become your friends and won't hurt you. The other type were his parents. They just didn't feel right. Ever since Robio could remember, he disapproved of the couple. After he grew up, it became worse and he practically cut all ties with him. He really didn't know when his parents would drag him down. However, he actually received his mother and father's call a few days ago. It was hard to believe that they would call him on the same day. After all, even on his birthday, only Right would call him to send blessings. Caprice and Ethan never called him. That day, Ethan and Caprice said that if Chun Zhao ever needed help, he had to help no matter what. His parents had never agreed on something like this before. Robio couldn't figure out why. No, maybe something had happened that made them fall into accord. Robio wants some milk. No, I ate breakfast before coming. Walter ran to Robio. He stood up, grabbed Robio and licked his face. Chun, did Walter grow again? He's just a kid. There's nothing strange about kids growing. Fei Lai poured milk into Walter's bowl. An entire 2.5-liter carton of milk. Robio was speechless. In dog years, Walter was definitely ancient. But after White Ma and Black Ma came over, he didn't find Robio big anymore. Compared to the silly twins, Walter was a tiny puppy. Chapter 209. Design for the New House. Chun Zhao and Fei Lai brought Robio to Mirror Lake. Robio took in a deep breath. It's beautiful. From this mountain to this lake and then the land here and the road outside. All these are mine, Chun Zhao said proudly. Why did you buy such a large piece of land? I don't think the land here is suitable for agriculture or grazing. It's completely useless, Robio remarked. Chun Zhao's face darkened. I don't want to hear such a depressing comment. I only want to hear something nice. This place has a pleasant scenery and fresh air. And then what? Robio rolled his eyes and continued to walk forward. Do you want to build your house here? Yes. This place is near the lake and there's even a waterfall at the side, so the humidity is rather high. When building the house, you have to use moisture-resistant materials, which also cost more, Robio said. Tell me your requirements. Chun, I hope that our new house will be more modern. I don't like those classic European styles. I'm firm about this. Agreed. I also like modern designs, Chun Zhao nodded. It's great that the two of you have the same taste. I'm most scared of those families where every person has his or her own idea, Robio said. Can we incorporate the waterfall somewhere? Chun Zhao asked. Robio shook his head. Best not to. I've studied the environment here. When it rains, the waterfall becomes much larger. Also, the soil here is rather soft, which encourages debris flow. If you build your house under the waterfall, it'll probably be buried at some point. All right, forget about it then. Robio added, however, if you really want to include the water somewhere, we can create an underground pond connected to the lake. We can use a ring of glass to separate the basement from the water and add some fish to the lake as an ornament. Chun Zhao's and Fei Lai's eyes brightened. They had to admit that as a professional designer, Robio indeed had better ideas. I already have a preliminary concept. The main building will be round, with 3 floors above the ground and 1 floor in the basement. The side facing the lake will be built with fully tempered glass. slightly slanted to withstand any hurricane from that direction. This can ensure the safety of the structure. As Robio spoke, he drew a design diagram. Of course, it was only a preliminary design. He still had to change it according to what Chunjiao and Fei Lai wanted. I want another floor in the basement. I need it for something. Of course. Chunjiao and Fei Lai began to bring forward their requests. Robio kept changing the drawing. That should be all. Great. When the diagram is finished, I'll show it to you. Then you can look at the rendering and I'll also tell you the estimated cost of the house. How long will that take? Very soon. How about the construction company? I don't know any. I can recommend you an engineering company. It's owned by my ex-schoolmate. Robio said. All right. At noon, Robio stayed for lunch, after which he left. Chunjiao also went out to conduct Norman's daily slimming session. 140 kilograms and 100 kilograms were two entirely different concepts. Norman's weight changed every day. Usually, the only thing that could achieve such an effect was liposuction. However, liposuction was very harmful to the body, and it might not even be as effective as Chunjiao's slimming plan, because it would not drain all the fats at once. Instead, there would also be several sessions. Maybe a person would have her first session on the belly. After resting for some period, she would have it again on the hips. A few sessions later, when the entire process was completed, her whole body would be filled with scars. The biggest disadvantage of liposuction was that it could not be carried out on blood vessels. Fats would accumulate there too. Despite being able to slim down, there would be greater problems. Another method was to take weight loss pills. However, this was actually even more harmful. Most weight loss pills on the market would either induce severe diarrhea, reduce the appetite, or destroy a person's digestive system totally. Many people developed anorexia because of them. In the end, they only looked withered. Norman's physical fitness had already improved significantly. Now she could easily run 2 or 3 kilometers. She could even swim 2,000 meters. Norman's realized that her body was in a perfect state. In fact, she felt that if she could slim down for another 30 or 40 kilograms and reach her best state, she could even become a professional swimmer. Norman's, after you finish the swim, remove your shirt. I need to perform acupuncture on you. What? Norman's immediately covered her chest with her hands. Why didn't I know that acupuncture can help in weight loss? Chunjiao was speechless. Before you even suspect me, can you look at yourself first? Do you think I'll have any unclean thoughts about you? Asshole. Norman's face flushed as she widened her eyes at Chunjiao and gritted her teeth. Actually, Chunjiao planned to use acupuncture to increase the metabolism in Norman's body. Because her body was filled with fats, Chunjiao had to carefully find the correct spots. Before dinner, have another 1 kilometer slow run. Your dinner is 2 eggs, an apple and a glass of water. Norman's had already stopped complaining. Instead, she would very seriously listen to Chunjiao's instructions on both exercising and eating. Today, Norman's lost about 2.5 kilograms of weight. It was already becoming very slow. Fortunately, however, she had managed to go below 100 kilograms. Asshole, the fats in my arms hasn't reduced at all. Do you need to revise my training schedule? Yep, I've noticed it. I'll make some changes tomorrow. Then Chunjiao went to Stephen's house. He had promised Stephen that he would be his private doctor and health consultant. As a result, Chunjiao had to perform a monthly checkup on Stephen. Although Stephen was a very famous director in Hollywood, his house was not that luxurious. It was also in Beverly Hills, but it was not as deluxe as Rasva's house. He was single at the moment, having divorced 3 times already. There were only a few servants there. Stephen's body was in good condition, and he also seemed to be in a good mood. After the checkup, he asked Chunjiao to stay for dinner. Chunjiao agreed. He did not mind eating here first and then eating again when he got home. Chapter 210. Sienna asks for help. When he got home, Fei Lai had already prepared dinner. She wasn't a traditional housewife though. They interacted just like before but more casual and relaxed. Of course, when others weren't there, they were more intimate too. After dinner, the two grabbed beers and sat in the backyard. They enjoyed the peace and quiet. White Ma's injuries were much better. Chen Zhao had taken off the gauze, but there was still a glaring wound on his stomach. He couldn't do any intense exercise or else the wound would tear. Wouter grew familiar with them these days. He followed behind them all day like a lackey. However, the yard was a bit small while they were all big. Before, when there was only Beelzebub, Carrie and Walter, it felt okay. Now the three huge guys, Abitos, Black Ma and White Ma, were here and they could barely run. At that moment, Bant and Ken came over. They also had an Alaskan with them. Instead of going through the front door, they came in from the backyard. Cha and Fei Lai, you guys have a dog too now? Can you take care of it? We couldn't help it, Bant said, smiling. We saw your dogs and wanted one too. What's its name? Bobby, Ken replied. But he's kind of scared of your dog. Maybe they aren't familiar with each other yet. Bobby was smaller than Wouter, but he was still a big dog. If he was by himself he would look huge, but next to Black Ma and White Ma he was just okay. Chun, I came to thank you for finding a good job for Mary. Please don't thank me every time you see me. I heard you bought the land at Mirror Lake, right? Yeah. Bant had been the first to know when Chen Zhao got this idea. He'd asked Bant to help get information for it. You're going to build a house there? Yes. What about the furniture after that? Are you going to buy ready-made ones? Bant, do you have any suggestions? My old friend and I plan on opening a wood workshop. If you need help, I can give you the best price. Of course, no problem. Since it was a new home, he would definitely have most of his furniture custom-made instead of buying those generic brands. Just then, his phone rang in the living room. Chun Zhao got up. I'll go get the call. When he picked up, he realized it was Sienna. Chun, come help. I'm at UCLA. What's wrong? Didn't I tell you? My client is here and I've been here getting rid of evil spirits these days, but there are more now. They're much stronger than I'd expected. My client and I are stuck here. Okay, send me the exact location and I'll go right now. Putting down his phone, he went outside. Fei Lai, give me a ride. Bant, I'm sorry, but a client is looking for me. I need to go. Okay, then we'll go too. Bye. Oh. Chen Zhao got onto Fei Lai's car. He didn't bring any pets because Blackie was enough. What's wrong? Fei Lai asked. Sienna might be in trouble. It's dangerous. What's it this time? Demons? Or evil spirits? Fei Lai had suffered from the ghost ship last time, but she wasn't traumatized. She was still enthusiastic about paranormal activity, if it had nothing to do with her, of course. Outside the school, Chen Zhao grew worried for Fei Lai. How about you stay inside the car? It's okay. I'm more worried if I'm alone in the car. If I'm with you, you can protect me. Okay. Chen Zhao and Fei Lai went into campus. There weren't many people walking around at this time. When they reached the older part, they saw someone standing at the entrance. What are you here for? This is the forbidden zone. Are you the administrator here? Chen Zhao studied the man. Chen Zhao found him familiar, but he couldn't place where they'd met. Smith looked at Chen Zhao with a similar look and feeling. They'd met somewhere before. I'm a lecturer here. Many things had happened in the old campus, so it's been sealed off for a while. Oh. Then why are you here? Chen Zhao asked, looking at Smith. I just passed by. Smith often came to and from this place. He would occasionally meet students or other teachers and could deal with them easily. Ah, I remember. Smith was taken aback by Chen Zhao's sudden exclamation. We've met before. Chen Zhao cried. Where did we meet? Crossing the road a few days ago. Did you forget? You lost a coin. Smith furrowed his brows. He remembered after Chen Zhao pointed it out. He'd wanted to toss the gold coin that day, but Chen Zhao put it back into his hands. Oh, it's you. How have you been? Chen Zhao was confused. He didn't know this man, so why was he asking? My friend is in there. I think she's in trouble, so we're going to look. Your friend? In trouble? Smith frowned. What trouble? I think she fell and hurt herself, Chen Zhao said. We're here to help. Okay. Be careful when you go in. Smith didn't stop them. Fei Lai turned around to look at him. That guy feels weird. You think so too? I can't place it. Fei Lai shook her head. Blackie, do you think that man's strange? Chun Zhao asked. Yes, strange. Blackie's answer was the same as Fei Lai's. Where? I can't place it. How come your answer is the same as Fei Lai? You can't say what's strange about him either, and me too. Nothing's weird about that. Let's go. We can't make Sienna wait too long. The two humans and Blackie came before an old building. Glancing at it, Blackie said, There are so many evil spirits and they're all strange. How so? Evil spirits stay in the human world because of some obsession. But these evil spirits don't have any. They're trapped here. They didn't stay because of their own will. Someone killed them. Blackie shook his head. No, it looks like they died natural death. Chapter 211. Special Security Consultant. Mr. Brewster, could you remain quiet, please? At the moment, Sienna and the principal of UCLA, Louder Brewster, were trapped in an office. Sienna had cast a spell at the door to temporarily hide their smells. Louder's face was filled with horror. Miss Sienna, you promised that you can definitely settle this problem. But not only did you not, you also caused me to be in danger. You're the one who followed me here. If you weren't here, I would have gone out alone and killed all those things, Sienna refuted. Also, you haven't explained to me why there are so many evil spirits hiding in this old college building. Was there a massacre in your college? Nonsense. There have indeed been a few accidents here, but at most 1 or 2 people died each time. Now you're saying that there are hundreds of evil spirits outside? Are you trying to exaggerate the situation and then get more money from me? Then will you increase my pay? Don't even think about it. Suddenly, Sienna's phone rang. She quickly picked it up. Hello, Chun. Yes. Where are you? We're already in the abandoned college building. We? You and? Fei Lai. Are you an idiot? Why did you bring Fei Lai to such a dangerous place? She drove me here. I was too worried to leave her in the car, so I ended up bringing her along. We're trapped in the leftmost office on the top floor. I cast a spell on the door and we're safe for now. After Sienna hung up, Louder asked, Who's coming? Reinforcement. Hope that your reinforcement can do something. I don't want another person to be trapped in this office. If even he can't solve the problem, you can start to prepare your will, but in your will, you better pay me my $10,000. Oh, Chun, are there really evil spirits here? Fei Lai held on to Chun Zhao's arm. Although it was very dark, Fei Lai was not scared at all. She felt very safe beside Chun Zhao. Chun Zhao rolled his eyes. With Blackie's speed, no evil spirit could even appear before Fei Lai, not to mention that Fei Lai could not see them anyway. When they reached the top floor, they walked along the corridor and opened a few doors. However, they did not see Sienna. Chun Zhao could only call her again. Sienna, where exactly are you now? Why couldn't I find you? Didn't I tell you that I've cast a spell on the door? You should be able to crack the spell. Shouldn't it be simple? I'm amateur, Chun Zhao said helplessly. Sienna had only cast a simple illusion to trick the evil spirits. From the outside, the door to the office she was in looked like an ordinary wall. She thought that Chun Zhao could surely crack her spell easily, but he could not even find the correct place. Looks like my spell is rather powerful. Sienna was very pleased. Stop wasting time and cancel the spell now. What if evil spirits come in? I've finished most of them, Chun Zhao said. How long have you been here again? There are 100 of them. Is it? I didn't count. Sienna carefully removed the illusion spell and stuck her head outside the door to check the corridor. Sienna's there. Chun Zhao and Fei Lai both saw Sienna's head. Chun Zhao waved his hand. Sienna. Seeing Chun Zhao, Sienna also heaved a sigh of relief. She turned her head and said, It's safe now. We can go out. Louder could finally leave the office and relax. Have you killed all of them? Most of them. Some ran away, Chun Zhao said. How many? Sienna asked. About 1/10, Chun Zhao answered. Hi, I'm Louder Brewster, principal of UCLA. Louder made a handshake with Chun Zhao. I'm Chun Zhao, Chinese. This is my girlfriend. China, a mysterious nation. Are you interested in becoming a special security consultant at the college? Sorry, I have my own job. 10,000 a month. As long as you help me settle supernatural events, Louder added. Sienna's eyes glittered wildly. Chun Zhao knew at once what she was thinking. Sorry, I'm only an amateur. My main occupation is a doctor. Miss, Sienna is more professional than me, Chun Zhao rejected. But she couldn't even solve this kind of small problem. It's different. Chun Zhao shook his head. I only know how to exorcise evil spirits. For the other parts, Sienna is much better than me. For example, I couldn't even find you just now because of her spell. Louder thought about it. Indeed, this seemed to be the case. Miss Sienna, then will you become our college's special security consultant? Your job will be to handle all the supernatural events here. Yes, but I need a personal assistant, Sienna said. The college has to pay her as well. If it's just an assistant, I accept. After all, Louder was the principal. He had enough power in the college. But you must solve the problem in this building first. Isn't it already solved? You said that some evil spirits ran away. What if they come back again? All right. I'll clean this place up, Sienna said. But you need to give me my pay for this mission first. To get her new job, Sienna had no choice but to accept the request. Her monthly salary would be 10,000, and Chris could also become her assistant. This could solve all their problems with spending. In addition, they no longer needed to stay at David's house. While David had never harassed them in his house, they still wished to move out. With a stable income, they could finally fulfill their wish. Moreover, most of the evil spirits in the abandoned building had been killed by Chun Zhao. Sienna was confident that she could settle the rest of the herd. Of course, even in the worst-case scenario, she could still call Chun Zhao again to finish the remaining spirits. Anyway, Chun Zhao and Fei Lai rushed home to have their romantic time. Chen, why didn't I see you attack at all? Were there really evil spirits in that abandoned building? Fei Lai asked. She felt that it was more like a stroll at night than entering a haunted building. Chapter 212 Mexican Gang. In the morning, Chun Zhao went to Sean's family manor. It was his second treatment for old Sean and received $30,000 in payment. The Sean family was a very famous mafia family in LA. Chun Zhao had specifically researched after leaving last time. He didn't need to do any special searches. He only had to Google Sean family, and there would be a list of this family's information. Their power reached various crooks and crannies of LA. They were the true underworld kingdom of the city, while the patriarch was the king. Chun Zhao respected Sean. Whenever he faced Sean, he would purposely lay low. Before him, Chun Zhao was only a doctor. After leaving the manor, Chun Zhao went to the gym. Ethan hadn't introduced him to any new clients these days, so his schedule was pretty simple. He went to the gym in the morning, Mr. Doman's house in the afternoon, and went home at night. When he reached the gym, he saw Anderson sitting on the ground with a swollen face. Anderson, did you get beaten by Gaia? No, I fought in an amateur competition last night. Gaia walked over now. Anderson, it's too dangerous for you to fight in amateur competitions with your current abilities. Anderson, you tried amateur competitions. The money's good, so I wanted to try, but I got eliminated in the first round, Anderson said, a bit dejected. That's a good thing for you, Gaia said. People die every year in the AQ tournament. It gets more violent the further you go. AQ tournament? Chun Zhao asked curiously. What's that? How come I've never heard about it before? It's actually held by the elites for the rich members to enjoy themselves. The champion each year wins $1,200,000. It's the highest prize money in amateur fights. There also aren't any rules, other than not being able to hit the lower body. There are no time restrictions either. As long as one party hasn't surrendered, they can keep going. $1,020,000 isn't a small number. Gaia, how come you don't participate? Are women not allowed? No, but I might not win even if I go, Gaia said, shaking her head. The participants are all top fighters. I think I'm strong, but I may not be the strongest. She glanced at Chun Zhao. I think you can try though. Please, even you're not confident. Wouldn't it be suicide for me? Plus, I'm a doctor. Chun Zhao's biggest wish was to hit Gaia once, but this hadn't come true yet. He didn't think that he'd hope for something that even Gaia wasn't confident about. Gaia smiled. She just said it offhandedly. She knew that Chun Zhao was too scared to get into the ring. Chun Zhao had only started practicing to take revenge on her, instead of becoming stronger for himself or competing. Now Chun Zhao's abilities weren't weak at all. It was his heart that was weak. This was understandable though. Gaia was the coach for the army. Women couldn't stand their ground there if she didn't have the abilities. Chun Zhao learned boxing just to take revenge Gaia, but at this point he already gave up on that. He also didn't have the pressures of living like Anderson. Gaia knew that Chun Zhao had a high income. At least, she knew that he'd spent a few $100,000 on causing trouble for a billionaire. Oh, David, congratulations. The police director patted David's shoulder. You performed well at the Harry Bank. Old York is retiring this year. There are high possibilities of you taking his spot. In the bank robbery case, David had saved the captive, shot a robber, and captured 2 robbers. The security camera footage and video from the reporter present were played continuously in the media. This boosted the director's reputation. David was also praised by L.A.'s mayor. Of course, he was also treated as a hero. After all, David's performance yesterday had been too amazing. After the robbers broke into the bank, they shot the bank's security guard before anyone could react. No one could avoid this, but it was evident from this how evil the group of robbers was. Then David pretended to surrender but was observing quietly. He worked together with his friend and used advanced fighting skills to restrict the robbers and use great shooting skills to kill one robber. As for the 2 that had escaped, it couldn't be helped. David was only one person and he had to save the captive too. This scene had been replayed many times by various media. They all complimented on how beautiful it was. In one night, David became the representative of his department. Old York was a leader of serious crimes. He was respected in the department but was already at retirement age. Now that David performed so well, he naturally became the one with the biggest chance of taking Old York's spot. However, the 2 escaped robbers still haven't been found. You can't relax. Continue trying to catch them. Yes, sir. I understand. David couldn't wait to share this with all his friends. He called them all and invited them to dinner and party. Oh, at the same time, the 2 robbers stole $2 million from the bank, but before they could enjoy their lives, they were captured by the Mexican gang. This was one of the cruelest gangs in America. They might not be as deeply established as the mafia, but they were very good at their jobs being cruel. The gang was unparalleled in that aspect. Odutra looked at the 2 bloody robbers. You abandoned my little brother like that? Do you know how much time I spent on raising him? How much effort? You know how sad I was when I heard that he died? Odutra, I'm sorry, I wanted to save Oxus, but you know how it was. We didn't know the police would be in the bank. I don't want explanations. I want you to return your brother to me. I can't take it anymore. Kill me. The other robber couldn't take the torture anymore. He'd rather die than continue. You want to die? Great. Bring in the gift I prepared for them. A huge jar of water was pushed in. It was a 2-meter deep cistern. A group of piranhas swam inside it. They were man-eating fish. No, Odutra. Let me go. Let me go, I don't want to die. Ah! The 2 robbers were tossed into the cistern. They were already bloody and the piranhas attacked them immediately. The water instantly turned murky. Odutra listened to the tragic cries, his features still dark. Find the police. I will make them pay. No one can hurt the Devhal family. Chapter 213 Attack on the Sea. David, congrats. You've become a huge star among the police. Leonardo had also been invited. He hugged David and gave him his blessing. Everyone, this is Kate. David introduced Kate to the others. Today, Kate had dressed up exquisitely, planning to be the sole star of the night. Kate was wearing her business attire and carrying a shoulder bag. It would seem that she had just come back from work. In the end, Phalai, Sienna and Chris were all as good-looking as her. Kate's smile was somewhat unnatural for the whole meal. Luckily, none of the three ladies was interested in David, for which she felt really relieved. After all, to Kate, only David was her perfect man. Chen Zhao also did not mention the conflict between Kate and him. Everyone had a harmonious time. By the time they walked out of the restaurant holding each other's shoulder, they were totally drunk. Burp, where do we go next? David had also drunk a lot, but it looked like he still wanted more. I want to see the whale. I want to see Amon, Sienna said dizzily. Me too. Chun, I haven't even seen Amon. Feilai was also drunk. If she was clear-headed, she would definitely not suggest playing near the sea while drunk, because it was extremely dangerous. Sure. Burp. Let's go to the sea and see Amon. Who's Amon? Leonardo asked, confused. A whale killer whale. Burp. Go. Let's go to Angel Beach. Chun Zhao was also lurching. The drunken group flagged 2 cabs and headed for Angel Beach. However, when they arrived at the beach, they could see nothing apart from the pitch-dark seacoast. Amon was clearly nowhere to be seen. Chun. Where's Amon? Wait. Let me call him. Chun Zhao staggered toward the sea. When the seawater reached knee height, he stopped and shouted, Amon. Just then, the drunken group also came beside him and shouted at the sea, Amon! Amon! There seemed to be something on the sea. Chun Zhao could feel that Amon was coming. Even though Amon was near the coastline on the other side of Los Angeles, he could still sense Chun Zhao's summoning. Amon's coming, but he can't come too close to the shore. Then how? We can't see anything from here. I have a way, Feilai said immediately. The coastal rescue team has a speedboat. Come and help. The speedboat was stored in the HQ. The group had to work together to push the speedboat into the sea. Kate took out her video camera, recording everyone's drunken state. Let's go. Out to the sea. After they moved the speedboat from the warehouse to the sea, they boarded the boat and left. Where's Amon? As it was really dark, everyone still could not see Amon. There. Turn the light in that direction. Chun Zhao could feel Amon's position. David turned the searchlight to where Chun Zhao was pointing at. A huge fin appeared on the sea. Someone shouted, I see it, I see it. I see the killer whale's fin. Where? Where? Leonardo was still looking for Amon. Right there. Chun, ask Amon to come above the surface. Suddenly, a bigger searchlight shone onto them from afar. It's so bright. Why is there a ship here? I think it's a fishing boat. Here is not a fishing area. Why is there a fishing boat? It's coming toward us. Shit, it's going to hit us. By then they already had no time to react. The fishing boat collided with the stationary speedboat. It was a small fishing boat that weighed only tens of tons, but it was still too big for the speedboat. Immediately, everyone fell into the sea in their screams. Then a huge net fell from the sky and engulfed all of them, pulling them up onto the boat. Being submerged in the sea cleared everyone's head. They realized that they had been attacked. When Chun Zhao was pulled onto the fishing boat, he saw more than a dozen Mexicans. Who are you? Why did you attack us? Odutra approached Chun Zhao and tried to identify him. I remember you, Asian. You were also a hostage. Precisely because of your resistance, my brother was killed by this cop. Who exactly are you? Yesterday my brother Oxus was killed by you. My name is Odutra. You're Odutra from the Los Angeles Mexican gang? David's face turned cold. Odutra believed that if Chun Zhao did not resist that day, after David killed the first robber, the second robber would be able to shoot David. Then his brother would not have died. Thus Chun Zhao was similarly unforgivable. At least this was his understanding. And this bitch. Odutra pointed at Kate. This cop did it because he wanted to save you. Everyone was panic-stricken. Odutra licked his lips. Drag these few women out. Let them see us play their women. When we're done, drop all of them into the sea to feed the sharks. Let go of me. Let go. The few ladies struggled. The men in the team also could not tolerate any longer, or the ladies would really be killed by the Mexican gang. Without warning, Chun Zhao suddenly tore the fishing net apart and charged forward. Bang! Accompanied by a gunshot, blood started to ooze out from Chen Zhao's chest. However, he continued forward and smashed into the person. The people around Chen Zhao thought that he would collapse after being shot. Chen Zhao's bravery took them by surprise. Even after he was shot, he still injured their people. Just as they planned to fire at Chen Zhao together, the boat suddenly vibrated. Everyone staggered apart from Chen Zhao, who was prepared for the impact. Just then, David and Leonardo also broke through the net. They had their guns with them. Actually, the gang members did not collect their guns because they thought a counterattack was impossible. Chen Zhao kicked and jumped over a meter off the ground, landing on top of the cabin. Then he swept his leg out. Following a loud crack, the Mexican who was hit fell off the cabin top. David and Leonardo kept shooting. Kate was even holding her camera recording the fight down. Suddenly, someone ran out of the cabin with a machine gun. Everyone quickly went to take cover. The person fired the machine gun and raked the group. However, the next moment, a clear whale roar was heard from the sea. Kate lay on the ground, pointing her camera at the sea. She saw a huge wave on the surface. Then, a giant leaped out from the sea and smashed onto the boat. The entire boat shook and became slanted. The person holding the machine gun also fell onto the floor. David got up at once and shot the person in the forehead. Chapter 214 First time being hospitalized. Jump off! Chen Zhao yelled. Go! Everyone jumped off the ship. Amon caught all of them on his back. Everyone was still shocked and dazed. Kate bent down and touched the slippery ground under her feet. This is Amon? They finally had a chance to be close to Amon. Everyone was both nervous and excited. Look, that Mexican boss is in the sea. Amon. Chen Zhao patted Amon's back. He immediately turned around while everyone looked at Chen Zhao. Are you going to have Amon eat him? Of course not. I don't want him to get diarrhea, but the guy can't be let off like this. Amon bit Odutra and drowned him in the water. A minute later, he finally let go. But before Odutra could take a breath, Amon dragged him back down. Chen, it's enough. This is enough, David couldn't help but say. Chen Zhao looked at him. He wanted to rape our friend. David realized that all the women were looking at him with similar gazes, so he gave in. Okay, you're right. Odutra experienced the most terrifying night of his life. He was completely out of his mind after being tormented by that killer whale. Chen Zhao, did you get shot? He looked down at his chest and immense pain seized him. The next moment the world spun. Earlier he'd been filled with adrenaline, so he didn't feel anything. Now that he was calming down and David reminded him, he suddenly felt weak. In a dazed state, Chen Zhao might have heard a siren. He felt himself get taken onto an ambulance and felt strong light. He might have gone into the surgery room. When Chen Zhao woke up, it was already the afternoon of the next day. His head felt heavy and pain came from his chest. Fei Lai was sitting beside him, but she'd fallen asleep. Fei Lai. Chen Zhao tugged her. Chen, you're awake? Fei Lai cried in excitement. You didn't sleep the entire night. I slept a little. Do you still feel uncomfortable? I'm fine. Fei Lai dipped down to kiss him. Chen, I don't want this to happen again, okay? Okay, I promise. Chen Zhao caressed her. Just then, two people came into the room, Ethan and Caprice. Chen, I heard you got shot, but you look better than I'd imagine. To you, it's good as long as I'm not dead, right? Chen, Caprice said. I promise you I'll have that Mexican be put in my jail. You can meet him any time. Chen, you guys talk, Fei Lai said, getting up. I'll wash some fruit for you all. As soon as Caprice and Ethan left, Zola, Daniel, Manny and Rasfa came to visit as well. This is weird. How do you all know I'm hospitalized? You don't know yet? Rasfa said, chuckling. The video of your group fighting the Mexicans has already gone viral. Oh, my company has decided to invest in a movie about your story. We need your permission. How about it? I need to discuss with my friends. What's the price? $500,000. That's it. That's a lot. You know, a screenwriter usually only gets tens of thousands of dollars. This isn't my job. Then how much do you want? Rasfa asked. Chen Zhao thought for a moment. He didn't understand Hollywood, so said, "We'll decide after I discuss it with my friends. If the movie really starts shooting, I hope you can have 2 of my friends act in it." Give me your friend's information," Rasfa said carefully. "Otherwise, I can't make the decision." "Okay. Chan, you have to call me next time there's something so fun." Daniel looked at him excitedly. "Go away. I almost died and you think it's fun. You're so cool. How can you get killed by some Mexicans?" Daniel was confident in Chen Zhao. Zola was a smart woman. Seeing Chen Zhao and Fei Lai's actions, she guessed their relationship, so she acted very solemn. She didn't say or do anything over the top to Chen Zhao. A while after the family left, Mr. Doman and Normans came too. Mr. Doman came to ask about him while Normans came to mock him. Gaia also came to ask about Chen Zhao's injuries and then left. Surprisingly, Morgari and his boss came as well. Chen Zhao wondered if Morgari and his boss would get into a full-out fight if they'd run into Gaia. Around evening, David, Leonardo, Chris, Sienna, and Kate all came too. They promised to have another party after Chen Zhao was discharged. Chen Zhao was discharged the next day. He didn't spend more than 36 hours in the hospital. He wasn't completely healed, but he felt so uncomfortable there. He couldn't wait to escape from the patient's ward and hospital. Getting onto Fei Lai's car, he got Dell's call. "Chen, I heard from Mary that you're in the hospital. Why couldn't I find your room? What room number are you?" "I'm in heaven," Chen Zhao said, annoyed. "You died. Fuck off." "Okay, I won't kid around. Chen, were you discharged?" It was rare for Dell to be serious. "Yes. When will you take me to see your pet Amon? You're calling to see Amon, right?" "No, I really do care about you." After ending the annoying call with Dell, Chen Zhao asked, "Is Amon really famous now? Do you know how many tourists go to Angel Beach now? Everyone wants to see Amon. Yesterday, there were more than 100 drowning cases. A lot of tourists don't even wear life vests and go straight into the deep water to see Amon. How many people have seen him?" "You're asking the obvious. Amon isn't even at Angel Beach." As soon as Chen Zhao got home, he grabbed onto Fei Lai impatiently. It had only been a bit more than a day, but Chen Zhao felt like he hadn't had intimacy in forever. "Chen, your injuries will open again." "It's okay. I'll be careful." Chapter 215 Limits of the Body. Chen Zhao rested at home for the next 2 days. It was also Chen Zhao's most relaxing period so far. Fei Lai did not go to work either. She stayed at home with Chen Zhao every day, enjoying herself. Robio thought that Fei Lai had to take care of Chen Zhao, so he approved her leave without hesitation. In reality, however, Chen Zhao was already fully vigorous the day after discharge. The couple were only giving themselves a holiday. On the 3rd day, the 2 of them returned to work. Chen Zhao had already spoken to the 6 other friends involved, including Fei Lai. They agreed to sell to PLM Film the copyright to turn their story into a movie. It cost 700,000, which meant 100,000 for each of them. The incident they had experienced had a very big, perhaps even stirring influence in America. The video taken that night already had over 100 million views on various websites combined. In fact, apart from PLM, many film companies of varying sizes had also contacted Chen Zhao and his friends. However, they offered little money and were not sincere at all. David and Leonardo were also commended for their actions that night in their respective police stations. Kate even became famous in the media industry due to that single night. The video she had taken became the focus which various media firms competed for. Sienna and Chris could not wait to get the money, because after that night, the relationship between David and Kate surged rapidly. They had to move out of David's house before something bad happened. Chen Zhao decided to lend them his money first so that they could find accommodation outside. Leonardo really valued the friendship between him and the others. Moreover, he felt that after experiencing the danger together, their friendship would become even stronger. When Chen Zhao got to the fitness center, almost everyone that he knew came to greet him. "Chen, you're amazing. I saw you send a Mexican gangster flying with just 1 kick." "Chen, bring me to see Amon too." My son tells me every day that he wants to go to Angel Beach, but we didn't see him on there. Oh. Gaia approached Chen Zhao. How's your body? Recovering well. Gaia pulled Chen Zhao's collar down and looked at the wound on his chest. That's fast. I'm a doctor too, after all. You seem to be good, but let's slow today's lesson down. Practice with Anderson. While Gaia looked rough on the outside, she actually had the empathy of a lady. Usually, however, she would not display it. Chen Zhao's injury had more or less fully recovered. After all, in the past 2 days, he had already been sleeping relentlessly with Fei Lai at home. As Chen Zhao and Anderson practiced with each other, Gaia observed Chen Zhao's condition. Gaia was the ideal coach, whether it was her personal ability or her responsible attitude toward her students. Chen, come down, Gaia called. Chen Zhao and Anderson stopped their training. Let me give you a test. What? You mean being beaten by a few people like the last time? Or by you? Actually, my injury has yet to recover completely. No, just a few tests on your physical strength. I've in fact already done those at my friend's house last time. Chen Zhao had indeed done these tests at Rufford's house. What's your record for squat? 490 kilograms. You sure it's correct? Yes. What did 490 kilograms mean? The world record for heavyweight squat was only 470 kilograms, and it was the heavyweight record. Gaia's limit was about 265 kilograms. Of course, she did not usually train this, so her result obviously could not be compared to the world record. How about deadlift and bench press? Deadlift was 550 kilograms, Chen Zhao recalled. I think 380 kilograms for bench press. In fact, these were only his results a few weeks ago. Chen Zhao felt that he was still growing and had yet to reach his true limit. Gaia brought Chen Zhao to a boxing machine. Hit this. How? Full speed. Don't stop until I tell you to, Gaia instructed. Chen Zhao warmed his limbs up and got into the right stance. Start. At the instant Gaia started the stopwatch, she heard continuous bangs from the machine. Stop. Gaia paused the timing and then walked up to the screen. According to the display, Chen Zhao had punched 121 times in 10 seconds. It was another world record. His strongest and weakest punches were 211 kilograms and 165 kilograms respectively. It was a very good result in quick punching. Gaia cleared the result. Again. This time, charge your punch and hit it as hard as possible. Only one punch is needed. Chen Zhao took in a deep breath. Then he punched out and his fist smashed hard onto the sandbag on the machine. Pong! The sandbag flew away. A number appeared on the screen, 1,000. Gaia shook her head. The record in the boxing world was set by the heavyweight boxing champion Tyson, but his official record was much less. Chen Zhao's punch had already surpassed the limit of a normal human being. Gaia glanced at Chen Zhao. By just looking at his physical strength, he could no longer be considered as a human. Gaia had seen the video of Chen Zhao fighting with the Mexican gangsters that night. In the video, Chen Zhao had almost managed to defeat one person with each hit. Those people all had permanent disabilities from their injuries. If Chen Zhao went for a wrestling or boxing competition, he might really beat his opponent to death. Don't tell me you're a biological weapon made in China. Have you ever seen a biological weapon that you can press onto the ground and beat as much as you like? Chen Zhao rolled his eyes. If you want to go for any fighting competition, I can make you a world champion. Pick any style you like. Please, I'm only a doctor. Gaia gave a wry smile and shook her head. She would rarely encounter someone who was so strong, even talented, but unfortunately Chen Zhao was not interested. Apart from his skills, Chen Zhao was perfect in every area. Of course, Gaia was not the kind of person who would force others to do things they did not enjoy. If Chen Zhao was willing to take part in competitions, she would clearly be happy to create a champion in the boxing world. However, if Chen Zhao was unwilling, she would not force him. When Chen Zhao left the fitness center, a business car stopped before him. A lady stuck her head out of the window. Mr. Chen, please come in. Chen Zhao found the lady somewhat familiar. You are. Just then the rear window also opened. It was Chen Zhao's mother. Come in. It was the first time Chen Zhao met his mother in the last half a year. Does your daughter need bone marrows? Chen Zhao asked, remaining stationary. Chen Zhao's mother stared at him. To Chen Zhao, she was more like a familiar stranger. Chen Zhao was calm and respectful, but he was clearly keeping his distance from her. After keeping silent for a while, his mother asked, I only wanted to ask you about your injury. I'm fine. Thank you for your concern. Great. I still have something else. Bye. Bye. Chapter 216 Gap. His mother's sudden appearance only created a slight disturbance of Chen Zhao's emotions. He quickly composed himself. He would fulfill his early promise and donate his bone marrow when his half-sister needed it. Composing himself, Chen Zhao went to Doman's house. He'd missed 4 days of Norman's weight loss training, but she'd been practicing by herself too. She was just less motivated without Chen Zhao there. When Chen Zhao had left 4 days ago, Norman's had been around 195 pounds. 4 days later, her weight had only dropped to around 187 pounds. Hey asshole, were you afraid that day? Norman's ran side to side with Chen Zhao. Yeah, Chen Zhao replied nonchalantly. It'll be weird if I wasn't. He'd indeed been afraid, but once you were scared to the max, it wouldn't be that scary anymore. When humans were excited and scared, blood would collect in the brain and result in excessive oxygenation. Excitement and fear were similar, so Chen Zhao couldn't say if he was more excited or scared. In extreme situations, one might not feel fear. Could be excitement too. Right? How's Wouter's training? Not bad. You can take him back at any time. You finished that quickly? If you're just patronizing me, I'm not going to pay. As long as you don't have him do math, he should understand your intentions. Chen Zhao was quite confident in this. After all, Wouter had drunk the intelligence potion and was smarter than most animals. Then I'll go to your place today and take him back. You better prepare a check first. After training, Normans gave Chen Zhao a check and he went back home to get Wouter. It was another $100,000 in his pockets. Robio already gave the design and initial budget to Chen Zhao and Fei Lai. Including the cost for 2 kilometers of asphalt, the total budget was around $1,300,000. In other words, the building itself needed $1,100,000. This had surpassed Chen Zhao's initial budget, but he and Fei Lai couldn't decide which part of Robio's design to take out. Every part of his design had a specific use or intention. The entire design was a piece of art. Looking at the mock-up, Chen Zhao and Fei Lai had already fallen in love with the house. Chun, how much more money do you need? Let me see. Chen Zhao picked up his pen. After buying the land, I had $200,000 left. In this half month, I earned around $100,000 and got another $100,000 today. If Norman successfully loses weight, I'll have another $400,000. That's pretty much it. You forgot the money for the movie. The two of us together will be $200,000. That means we already have $1 million. Chen Zhao thought for a moment. We still need $300,000. How about? Don't ask your family for money anymore, Chen Zhao said. This is our home. We'll build it with our own hard work. Plus, I might have an unexpected payment in a few days. What unexpected payment? Do you remember Pierce South? He wants to collaborate with me. Collaborate with what? He doesn't look like a good guy. He said that Treedpempton divided his wealth in half before dying. One part was the gold which we've already split amongst the villagers. The other part is his collection. It's a bunch of valuable artworks and relics. Will he go back on you? Fei Lai's first reaction was about Chen Zhao's safety. Chen Zhao laughed. He hugged Fei Lai and pressed a kiss onto her. Dear, it's not me underestimating Pierce. If that old fox dares to do anything, I'll make sure he's stuck in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Oh. The next day, Chen Zhao received a call from an unfamiliar number. Hello, who is this? Hello, I'm Felwood Cisco, Robio's friend. Are you Chen Zhao, Mr. Chen? Oh yes. What is it? I started a construction company. Robio said you want to build a house, right? Yes. When are you free? We can find time to sit down and chat. Actually, I'm at the central street of Mountain Town right now. I want to settle this as soon as possible. Can you tell me where to go? Oh, go straight to the left of the supermarket for around a kilometer. My house is on the hill. It looks old and should be easy to see. Oh, there are a few big dogs playing in the yard. There are so many dogs in this town. Are you sure I won't get the wrong place? You definitely won't. Felwood soon found Chen Zhao's house. Hello, I'm Chen Zhao. Hi, I'm Felwood Cisco. He looked at the silly twins running in and out of Chen Zhao's yard and finally understood what he meant. They really were two big, incredibly big dogs. Mr. Chen, Robio already gave me the design and budget. The cost is pretty much how he estimated, but there might be a fluctuation of around $100,000. I can't promise an exact price. I also have to make it clear because you're Robio's friend. He told me to make it clear that if we buy the material we might have some profit. Of course, if you have your own channels you can save around $100,000. I can give you a list of what to buy. It'll just take longer. Chen Zhao thought for a moment. If he bought the material himself he could save a few $1,000s, but he would also waste a lot of time. It wasn't really worth it. After all, building such a complicated house would need hundreds of materials. It wasn't just brick, cement, and dirt. It couldn't be done in 1 or 2 days, so he felt like it was logical for the company to make a profit while making the purchases. I agree for your company to make the purchases, but I hope the budget won't go over $100,000. Money is tight for me right now. If it's more, it'll give me a lot of pressure. I'll try my best, Felwood said. The fluctuations in market price is really big, because it's affected by the environment. I can't control it. Chapter 217 Great, finally someone dares to openly taunt Chen Zhao. Chen Zhao signed the contract with Felwood and paid him a deposit of $300,000. In 3 days' time, Felwood's team would officially start the construction. His team would build everything including the roads. They would even make modifications to the scenery surrounding the main building. Chen Zhao did not need to do anything apart from visiting the construction site once in a while. The estimated time needed for the construction was 3 months. If it was exceeded, Chen Zhao would receive a compensation. After they signed the contract, Felwood and Chen Zhao had a chat. Chen Zhao got to know Felwood a bit better during the conversation. Felwood's company was a really small one with a registered capital of just $2 million. They had little competitiveness in the sector. Usually, they were lucky to even receive a project worth tens or hundreds of $1,000s. Anyway, they would do whatever that could get them profit. Robio was the architect, the only architect in his company. Of course, Robio was more like a helper. He had no share in the company and would not really get paid. The project that Chen Zhao was offering them was already a big one. By building a villa that cost more than $1 million, Felwood could earn at least $200,000 for himself. It seemed like Chen Zhao could earn $100,000 very easily. In fact, his income was already very high. Of course, Chen Zhao worked in the gray area. Nobody would care about him unless there was a problem. Moreover, he did not have a standard or stable income. On the other hand, despite having opened his company for a few years, Felwood had yet to earn the cost back. Therefore, he was exceptionally enthusiastic toward Chen Zhao's project. The project would be a hot one even among larger construction companies. They might even offer him a discount, which was something that small companies could not provide. Nevertheless, Chen Zhao did not want to do that. Robio had designed his house for free, after all. If Chen Zhao were to hire an architect himself, he would have to spend about 5% of the total cost according to the market price. Robio was already doing him a big favor by designing his house for free. Hence, Chen Zhao would not mind helping Robio back. Oh, Chen, I left the keys to the warehouse at home. Can you deliver them here? Fei Lai called Chen Zhao. No problem. Just then the silly twins bolted in. Master, are you going to the beach? Angel Beach? Chen Zhao's cheeks twitched. Why are you two so excited when I'm just going there to send things? Master, bring us there. Master, please. I'll pick up as many coins as I can. Unable to dissuade the silly twins, Chen Zhao had no choice but to bring them along. This being the case, he also had to bring Beelzebub, Raymond, Carrie and Abitos. Leaving them at home by themselves would mean a terrible disaster for his furniture, especially Abitos. He would literally turn the house upside down if there was nobody to watch him. Chun Zhao had a difficult time flagging a cab. He had to promise the driver $200 before he could finally bring his pets in. Chun Zhao thought about whether he should really get a driving license and a car. Otherwise, it would be very inconvenient to bring his pets around. Many a time he could not even flag a cab, especially at night. If he came out from his client's house late at night, he might have to walk a long distance before he could get a cab. If he was going to buy a car, it must first of all be big enough. For example, the car that he was in at the moment could barely fit the silly twins. He still had to place Abitos in the trunk and carry Beelzebub and Carrie in his arms. Here we are. When Chun Zhao was still thinking, they arrived at their destination. He alighted from the car with his pet family. Immediately, they attracted countless strange stares. As usual, the silly twins ran wild at once. They automatically entered their pay-to-photo mode. In particular, they attracted many children on the beach. Chun Zhao went to the Coastal Rescue Team HQ and found Fei Lai. To be honest, given that Fei Lai was the prettiest lady in the Coastal Rescue Team, many men were unhappy when they saw her being hugged by Chun Zhao. Chun Zhao and Fei Lai openly displayed their affection toward each other, as if there was no one around. Fei Lai, is this your boyfriend? I thought he was an illegal doctor? A half-naked man approached Chun Zhao and Fei Lai. The two of them stared at the man with a weird look. Fei Lai frowned. Claude, what do you want? Claude smiled with confidence. He had quite an elegant demeanor before Fei Lai. Fei Lai, I only think that maybe it's time for your boyfriend to exercise. He might not even be as strong as you. Chun Zhao and Fei Lai both rolled their eyes. They had stayed in the same house for so long, not to mention that Fei Lai had obviously tried Chun Zhao's physical strength. As for why Claude had said so, everyone knew the reason. Fei Lai, why did you find an Asian as your boyfriend? Can he satisfy you? Snap. Chun Zhao tore his shirt off right away, displaying his excellent shape and powerful muscles. He had no extra flesh on his body at all. Come. Anyone who thinks that I'm not strong enough can challenge me in anything. Wow, his muscles are beautiful. The few female lifeguards stared at Chun Zhao's muscles with their eyes glittering, as if they were wolves which just saw a huge piece of meat. Fei Lai widened her eyes at Chun Zhao. Then she patted his chest gently and said with dissatisfaction, "Stop showing off." She knew how messy Chun Zhao's private life had been in the past. If he was targeted by these female lifeguards, he might just return to his old lifestyle. Claude would not admit defeat. Indeed, he felt even more jealous when he saw Chun Zhao and Fei Lai flirt with each other before him. He had a strong body too. After all, he was a lifeguard. Moreover, he was a few centimeters taller than Chun Zhao, so he would clearly not retreat so easily. Let's arm wrestle. Which hand do you want? I'll let you choose, Claude said confidently. Sure. Left hand then. Claude had been provoking Chun Zhao right before his girlfriend. How could he not fight back? Moreover, Chun Zhao had to display himself, given that there were so many ladies present. Chun Zhao and Claude came before a table. A lady walked up and placed their hands in position. Are you ready? The lady asked. Chun Zhao and Claude both nodded yes. 3, 2, 1, start. Claude immediately grabbed onto a table leg to help him exert more force. On the other hand, Chun Zhao looked very relaxed and showed no intention of grabbing anything. He continued to hold his arm vertical, not moving to the left or the right.